Good evening and welcome to Solent Sports Newsnight. I'm your host, Abdullah Babalola. Coming up, we've got all of tonight's action, including the important Champions League second legs, Football League fixtures, and the latest cricket news from the West Indies. I'm delighted to be joined in the studio tonight by our panel of experts, Ben Haywood, Byron Goodchild, Joe Hayhurst, and Cameron Anderson-Jones. We will also be joined by our reporters live on location for updates around the grounds on tonight's fixtures. Okay, our first panellist covering the Liverpool Champions League game is Cameron Anderson-Jones. Can you tell me a bit about that, please?
Yeah, so Inter visit Anfield, already 2-0 down in the leg, but it didn't kind of paint the whole story of the first leg because Inter had at least one goal ruled out and had very good chances in the second half as well. And it wasn't until actually the 75th minute until Liverpool broke the deadlock with Roberto Firmino. One I've got to say to watch out for tonight is Ivan Perisic versus Trent Alexander-Arnold. Perisic is going to be operating a left wing-back role versus Trent at right-back, and we all know how much Trent loves to go forward, and Perisic could really exploit that right-hand side.
Okay, we all know how important the first goal can be. Who do you think is going to get it, Cameron?
Well, we know how good Liverpool are at Anfield, so it's going to be very tough for Inter to get a goal, let alone get through the legs. So, personally, I still think that Liverpool are going to come out on top tonight, but it's going to be a very interesting affair. Okay, so it sounds like it's going to be a good game. Sticking with the Champions League, we've got Bayern versus Salzburg. Ben, can you tell me a little bit about that one?
Yeah, I'm really buzzing for the encounter. It's currently 1-1 on aggregate between Bayern and Salzburg.
Bayern have been under the cosh a little bit domestically and in the respective league. Salzburg will give them a tough game tonight. They're top of the Austrian Bundesliga. I'm looking out at the likes of Karim Adeyemi for Salzburg. And so, yeah, it should be a good encounter. I'm looking forward to it.
So Bayern are the favourites, or one of the favourites for the Champions League. So do you think they'll progress?
I think so, yeah. They went very offensively tonight with Serge Gnabry and Kingsley Coman playing at wing-backs again. I think they've just got too much of a threat going forwards for Salzburg to deal with. So, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they come out on top tonight.
Okay, and now moving on to the EFL, we've got a big game at the top of the Championship. Bournemouth are playing, so can you tell me a bit about that, Joe?
Well, we've got two teams here in very different situations, Bournemouth and Peterborough. Peterborough coming off the back of 4 losses and a draw in the last 5. Bournemouth lost last game, but it's not really testament to their form. They've won the last previous 4 games. I think it's going to be a very, very tough day for Peterborough. I think Bournemouth are going to have them under the cosh. I really, really don't see them getting anything today. I don't see them getting any joy in front of goal either. They've got some players on the bench that maybe could make an impact, players like Sami Szmodic, stuff like that. And we've got Dembele for Bournemouth, who's playing against his former club today, and we'll see him get a goal.
Okay, score predictions maybe?
I'm going to go at least 2-0 Bournemouth.
All right, and then moving on now to League One, we've got Crewe versus Portsmouth. Can you tell me a bit about that, Byron?
Well, it should be a comfortable win for Portsmouth. They're currently on a 2-game winning streak. They haven't lost a game in 7 games, while Crewe are at the bottom of the table, lost their last 3 games. So it should be a comfortable win for Portsmouth. They are missing out on their top scorer, Marcus Harness. He got a red card in the last game, only 21 minutes in. But even with that being said, I still do see Portsmouth getting a comfortable win as they are unbeaten in 7 games.
Score prediction maybe?
I'll say 3-0 to Portsmouth.
Okay, and now moving on to the cricket, we have another panellist with us, Adam Oliver, to tell us a bit about that.
We had Alex Lees, once again, new debutant, dismissed for 4. We had Zach Crawley being dismissed to a superb catch from wicketkeeper De Silva for 8. Skipper Joe Root, who had such a successful time at the Ashes with the bat, not so much being captain, he left a straight one. He left a straight one to Kemar Roach, left England in all sorts of problems. And then Dan Lawrence, who looked good for his 20, was then removed. England ended at lunch at 57 for 4, which was actually worse off than what they were at Brisbane, where they were 59 for 4 in the Ashes. However, things have recovered slightly. We've got Johnny Bairstow, who's continuing his form that he had during the warm-up game. He's on 58, whilst Ben Folkes, who seems to be the in-and-out man of the team, is now on 27, and they're looking to build a strong partnership on a tough wicket to score runs.
Okay, so a lot going on in the cricket. First, we're going to move on now to a big game at the top of the Championship, Swansea. We've got one of our correspondents, George Rees-Julian, at the Liberty Stadium. Oh, sorry, my bad. We're not going to the Liberty Stadium. We're going to Coventry, actually. So we have Liam there at the Coventry Stadium. Can we have Liam, please?
Thanks.
A few technical difficulties there. We'll be with you in a moment.
Thank you very much, guys. It's 8th place Luton versus the 11th place Coventry City. Coventry City have made 2 changes to their lineup from last week. Forward Matty Godden comes back into the starting 11 for his first start since January. Martin Magman also starts an attack in a front 3 formation, with Coventry going to go for it this game. Jamie Allen is making his 300th appearance in his career for the club, so thank you very much and well done to Jamie Allen. For Luton Town, Kai Naismith is out and Dan Potts comes into defence. And Henry Cornick, scorer against Chelsea last week, comes in up top against the top scorer, Elijah Adebayo. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you very much, Liam. And now we will move on to the championship clap, top of the table championship clap with Swansea. And we will be going to our correspondent, George Rees-Julian, who is live at the Liberty Stadium.
Right, hello. So I'm actually here at St James's Park for the game between Exeter versus Swindon, and the 2 most informed clubs in League Two at the moment. They're about to face off now, moments away from stepping out onto the field, where 7th will play 8th, and the winner, if there is a winner tonight, will jump up from 7th or 8th into 3rd position. It's that close in time for the promotion chase. And yeah, so the players are moments away from coming out. Notable news is that Swindon Town are without their talisman, Harry McCurdy, the guy that rose to fame after his goal against Man City in the FA Cup 3rd round this season. They're out without him today because he picked up his 10th yellow card of the season against Bradford City last weekend, and he would miss out the match today. Some notable news for Exeter City: they've got Sam Nombe back in the starting lineup alongside the February Player of the Month nominee, Giovanni Brown, and we're all set now to go and see who will come out on top and hopefully move into 3rd position. Back to you, Abs.
Thank you very much, Saj. So sorry, you weren't going to Coventry. That was Saj at Exeter. Hopefully now we will be able to go to the Liberty Stadium and meet our live correspondent, George Rees-Julian. Okay, so no, we won't be going to that right now. Firstly, let me talk to you, Cameron, about your opinions on the Liverpool game that you're going to be watching soon.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I've already said it, but Inter, they're just so compact. I can't really even see them getting much going forward, to be honest. Since obviously last year they won the Serie A, took over from Juventus' dominance for so long, and Antonio Conte since leaving, then coming to Tottenham Hotspur, obviously in the Premier League. It's a slightly different setup. They've still kind of stuck with the back 5, so kind of still backed their principles because that is the team that Conte kind of built. But they have lost a few players during the summer and they're not quite the same as last year. Obviously what happened with Christian Eriksen as well. He's a big part of their creative system and he's since now playing in Brentford in the Premier League. And then likewise at Liverpool, they're in really good form at the moment. The last 5 games they've all won, and they're now only 6 points off Manchester City, who are at the top of the league with one game in hand, on Manchester City. So their title fight is on, and confidence is brewing in the squad. So it's going to be very tight. Obviously, the odds are with Liverpool, but we'll just have to see come full time.
As you've been mentioning, Liverpool are in formidable form right now. Do you think there's any chance for Inter to get anything from this tie?
Well, we'll have to wait and see, I suppose. That you don't know what's going to happen in the Champions League. Anything can happen, as we saw only a few years ago, Barcelona versus Liverpool, and they turned that one around on the night. Liverpool tonight will be starting a bit of a different midfield. Thiago returns to the lineup and Curtis Jones comes in as well, in for Naby Keita. And as well on the wing, Diaz doesn't start since he moved in January, and Diego Jota goes back up front. So maybe it'll take a little bit of time for the midfield trio to adjust, but we'll have to see.
Thank you very much, Cam. Moving on from Champions League now. The Premier League and EFL have suspended broadcast contracts in Russia after they invaded Ukraine and have donated £1 million to Ukraine relief funds. The 20 Premier League teams have made the decision to stop their contract with Russian broadcaster Oko Sport, which is worth around £6 million a year to the Premier League. The £1 million donation is to continue to provide humanitarian aid to those worst affected from the conflict. The Premier League released a statement saying that the league strongly condemns Russia's invasion of Ukraine. We call for peace and our thoughts are with all those impacted. Okay, Ben, now we're going to be talking about the second Champions League game that we have on tonight, Bayern Salzburg. Can you just tell me a little bit more about that and who you think might be the key players and the key matchups?
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Robert Lewandowski gets on tonight for Bayern Munich. Last time out in the first leg, Bayern managed to have 22 shots on goal, but Robert Lewandowski failed to complete one. It's the first time that he's failed to have a shot on goal in 2 consecutive Champions League matches, so I'm interested to see how he reacts to the first leg performance. He's got 9 goals and 2 assists in his 7 Champions League games this season, outperforming his XG by 3. So I feel like a goal's coming for the Polish striker tonight. But I've already mentioned him, Karim Adeyemi for RB Salzburg. He's 20 years old, German striker. He's been in great form, both-footed, looks comfortable up front for the Austrian side, alongside Chuks Adamu, who's came in for Okafor tonight for Salzburg. He scored the opener in the first leg, so it's going to be an interesting tie. Like I said prior to earlier, you know, they're both in good form, both sides, top of the divisions. So, yeah, I'm still backing Bayern tonight, though.
Okay, most people, I know I don't watch a lot of Austrian top division football, so could you just tell us a bit more about Salzburg, their form, and how they might be looking to attack Bayern today? Yeah, so carrying on to your first point, I'm looking at American attacking midfielder Brendan Aronson. He created 5 chances in the first leg against Bayern Munich, and he's the youngest attacking midfielder or youngest player to create as many chances in a Champions League knockout game since Lionel Messi in 2008 against Celtic. So I'm interested to see he gets on tonight. Salzburg are lining up in their 4-3-1-2 formation again, looking to play very compact and narrow against Bayern. But no, I feel like they'll still struggle against the likes of Coman and Gnabry, bombing on both wings and then wing-back roles. Okay, thank you very much. Going back to you, Cameron, Liverpool are unbeaten for the past 5 games, I'm sure. So what do you think Inter Milan have to do to try and break down this Liverpool side?
Well, first of all, you've obviously, I'd say you've probably got, I don't know what you think, but the best front 3 in Europe. No matter what, you substitute Jota out now and you suddenly have Diaz, or another one of them goes out and you've still got Firmino. I mean, the front 3, there's obviously everyone knows what Mohamed Salah's about. I mean, he's got 8 goals in the Champions League this season, and I mean, how many golden boots does he need to get in the Premier League? He doesn't need to prove anyone anymore. So it's going to be an interesting matchup. The 3 centre-backs for Inter Milan, they've really got to step on to the Liverpool defence, the Liverpool attack, sorry. And to be honest, they've got to be brave. Inter Milan, they're going to Anfield, they're going to expect pressure. They've just kind of got to deal with it, and they've really got to attack Liverpool and kind of use their tactics against them. They've got to squeeze it, get the ball back quickly, and transition quickly, and hopefully score a goal. Well, they've got Alexis Sanchez up front tonight instead of Dzeko, and obviously Lautaro Martinez, and everyone knows about him after he scored a hat-trick last weekend. Okay, thank you very much. Moving back to Russia now, Russian gymnast Ivan Kuliak came 3rd at the Gymnastics World Cup event in Doha. However, when the gymnast stood on the podium, he had the symbol of the letter Z, which is associated with supporting his country's invasion of Ukraine, standing next to the winner of the competition, Ukrainian Ilya Kovtun. The 20-year-old said, "I saw it on our military and looked at what this symbol means. It turned out to be for victory and for peace. I just wanted to show my position. As an athlete, I will always fight for victory and play for peace." The International Gymnastics Federation has said it was shocking behaviour and are asking the Gymnastics Ethics Foundation to investigate. What would you think about that, Joe? Just some opinions on that.
It's really difficult to speak about like what's going on in Russia, because there's a lot of Russians that are out there protesting against it. I'm a bit surprised at that, to be honest. However, I think he's going to, or they're going to decide what they want to do and how they want to promote that. And I think probably the best thing to do is investigate it. I'm not entirely convinced that was the right thing to do at all. Yeah, I'd be very upset if I was Ukrainian seeing that. Yeah.
Going on Bayern, ethically, you would think that it's not it's not pertinent to have those kind of symbols and that kind of political alignment for an athlete. What do you think about that?
You can definitely see why the Ukrainian athlete felt upset about that. It's just stuff that shouldn't be shown, that will definitely affect somebody else. So given the fact that the situation is now being investigated, you can't really argue against that or argue about it. You've chosen to do something that is definitely going to have an effect on a knock-on effect on someone else on a big topic in the world right now. That's the biggest thing being spoken about. So I definitely do see why there's an investigation in this whole situation.
Ben, if the athlete is found guilty of misconduct, what do you think the punishment should be?
I mean, it's difficult to say. I'm not entirely clued up on the situation, being honest. But a fine of some sort, potentially.
Maybe a ban as well.
Maybe a ban, potentially. Yeah. Not really entirely sure on the proximity of that. But yeah, on potentially a ban, maybe a fine. But you tend to see that athletes in these current situations, they tend to wriggle their way out of it.
Okay, moving on to boxing now. The scoring of Taylor versus Jack Catterall has come under scrutiny after many fans and pundits believe that Catterall should have won. Josh Taylor won 113 to 112, retaining his super lightweight belt on Saturday. The British Board of Boxing Control said it would investigate the scoring, and Sir Lindsay Hoyle, Speaker of the House of Commons and Catterall's MP in Chorley, has asked the police to investigate the scoring. WBC... Okay, moving on now to... We have Saj Rahman at Exeter. Can we have an update from you, please?
Yeah. Yes, so the game's just got underway here at St James's Park. You can probably hear it's absolutely bouncing in here as the Exeter fans look to try and spur their team on into third position if they can get a win today. Swindon are without 27 goals in their squad today because they're without their talisman, Harry McCurdy, who sits out with a 2-game suspension due to picking up 10 yellow cards at the weekend. They've also without Tyrese Mitchell, who was recalled on loan from Ipswich Town earlier in January, so they're without him as well. So they're without 2 really, really influential goal scorers, whereas Exeter have got Sam Nombe back in the starting lineup. He's their third top goal scorer alongside Giovanni Brown, the Player of the Month nominee for February. Scored 4 goals in his last 5 appearances. So they've got a really, really strong attacking lineup. We've just got underway here.
Okay, Saj, it's early days in the game right now, but could you tell me who looks to be more on top in the game?
I'd say that Swindon has just started out on top. They're keeping possession quite well at the moment and have pinned Exeter back, I'd say, but it's really, really early days, so the Exeter fans are really trying to get their fans onto to spur their team on at the moment, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Saj. We'll be back with you in a moment. Moving on back to boxing, WBC champion Tyson Fury has announced he will retire from boxing following his upcoming fight with Deontay Wilder. The Brit is set to face White on the 23rd of April at Wembley Stadium. Despite the Gypsy King's announcement, many in the boxing world are taking the news with a pinch of salt, with this not being the first retirement announcement we have heard from Fury. Okay, and now moving on to Swansea, hopefully we can see George Rees-Julian at the Liberty Stadium. Some technical
sorry.
difficulties.
We'll shut up in there, yeah?
It's been early days so far. Swansea are getting most of the ball, which is what we've become used to under Russell Martin. And both sides have pretty much got the same teams they used on the weekend. The only change is in the Swansea side, as Cyrus Christie, who's on loan from Fulham, is ineligible and drops out of the team. Oliver Ncham is playing in his right wing-back slot, which is quite an unnatural position for him, but he looks like he's handling it so far. But, as I said, nothing much has really happened so far.
Okay, it's early days right now, so who would you say is having the best of the early opportunities?
Well, Swansea have had the ball for the most part, which, as I said, has become quite accustomed to under Russell Martin. Ben Cabango's been a very commanding presence at the back, spraying the ball about, getting out to the wing. But there's a chance here, actually, as you come to me. No, it's just fizzles out. Patterson tried to play it into Peterborough. That combination has been so good for Swansea this season, but unfortunately, Fulham have just got the ball away on the edge of the box.
Thank you very much, George. We'll be back with you in a moment. So, Joe, that is obviously a big game at the top of the championship, and you are covering the next one. So could you tell me a little bit about how this could affect Bournemouth's season?
Well, Bournemouth currently have played 32 games. They're 2 points behind Huddersfield, who have played 36. So 4 games in hand on Huddersfield. They win today, they go back to second. They're a good few points behind Fulham, though. But I'd say the two favourites to get automatic promotion back into the Premier League will be Fulham and Bournemouth. But the best of the early chances has actually come from Peterborough in this game. So it's quite interesting. But
well, I have to interrupt to say that there's already been a goal in my game. Portsmouth have struck early. It was a cross to George Hurst, who headed the ball straight into the net. 3 minutes into the game, 1-0 to Portsmouth. It's already looking good for them. So it's looking like that's going to be a game, a cut and dry game for Portsmouth. Should be 3 points for them. Okay, back to you, Joe. Can you just tell me a bit about the starting lineups for Bournemouth, please?
Well, so Bournemouth are coming off the back of a red card for Adam Smith in their 2-1 loss to Preston North End at the weekend, as well as Scott Parker, the manager, actually got sent off. But we have seen from the FA that there'll be no further sanctions for Scott Parker, so he's there with the team. We've got Dembele here, who starts against his former club, as I mentioned earlier. Players to look out for: Norwich loanee Todd Cantwell for Bournemouth, and Billing, as well as Solanke, actually, who's actually had a fantastic season. It just goes under the radar a bit because of how good Mitrovic's season has been for Fulham. For Peterborough, we've got Clark Harris, who he's been injured for the season. He scored 5 goals. He's really good in front of goal, and I'm sure he'll get some joy tonight if they get a chance.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Joe. And now we're going to be switching over to our correspondent covering the Salisbury game. Ollie, can you tell me a bit about what's going on there, please?
Yeah, here at Salisbury, it's a relegation fight against their rivals, Tiverton Town. And it started quite a cagey affair. The ball in the air quite a lot. No team's really laid any authority so far. A few long balls, but nothing much to commentate on.
Thank you for that, Ollie. Who do you think is going to come out on top come the end of this game?
Both sides in the league are only 3 points away from each other. Same games played. I can't call it so far.
Okay, thank you very, very much, Ollie. We'll come back to you very soon. Byron, can you just tell us a bit about the start that's going on at Portsmouth?
Well, from the start, you could see Crewe were getting pressured quite a lot. They were losing the ball. Portsmouth, I'm pretty sure they were aware of Crewe's bad form, and they wanted to use that to their advantage. You could already see Crewe players getting tackled in their own half, and that's actually what led to the ball getting crossed into George Hurst and him putting the ball away nice and tall in the air. So I honestly think if Portsmouth carry on like this, they're going to get a comfortable win. Already now, they've just lost the ball, they're getting tackled. I see this being positive for Portsmouth.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Moving on to golf now. Tiger Woods has beat fellow countryman Phil Mickelson to win the inaugural PGA Tour's Player Impact Programme. The award is not one given out for winning a tournament, but rather one awarded to the player with the most popularity. The 82-time PGA Tour winner brought home an $8 million package check, with Mickelson taking home a respectable $6 million second-place prize. The PIP was calculated using metrics tracking 5 criteria: internet searches, news articles mentioning a player's name, social media, TV sponsor exposure and awareness. A $40 million pool was distributed among the top 10 finishers. Woods finished first in the internet searches, awareness and earned media. Cam, what would you do with an $8 million prize? What's the first thing you would buy?
What wouldn't I do? Well, I mean, I think I'd go get probably a house first or something like that. I mean, you kind of want to enjoy it as well, I suppose, so going on holiday wouldn't be a bad thing. Few holidays, I'd say. Maybe, I'm not sure, maybe I'd have to give it back to my parents. I mean, they've supported me across, 20 so far. So, I mean, I'm sure they'd be knocking on the door to get a few quid, so yeah, we'd have to spread it out, I suppose.
Joe, you look like someone that likes to splash the cash a little bit. What about you?
Sure. 8 mil. Get a nice car.
Nice.
Yeah. Treat
what
the
car
family.
are we talking? Bugatti, Lamborghini?
I like an Aston.
Oh,
I like an Aston, yeah.
Keep it British.
Yeah, well, you know.
What about you, Byron?
Me, I'm a family man, so I would start off by giving back to my family. Once they're all taken care of, What to do? I have to go on my dream holiday destination to Dubai. I have to. Something I have to do, so I'll go on a nice holiday destination there. You know, move out the house.
Yeah,
be
okay,
in my own
thank
space.
you. Yeah, sweet. Go back to your parents. Okay, moving on to the NBA now. San Antonio Spurs coach Greg Popovich has just moved tied Hall of Fame manager Don Nelson for the all-time regular season victories as a manager. Monday night's win over the LA Lakers means that only the Toronto Raptors stand in the way of Greg Popovich and the all-time record. The 73-year-old is in his 31st season as a manager, having won 5 NBA championships and 3 Coach of the Year awards during his career. The veteran can be quietly optimistic of making it 1,336 regular season victories, with the Raptors losing their last 3 games. 9-time All-Star Russell Westbrook has condemned the abuse he has been receiving, both online and in games following his LA Lakers losing 117-110 to the San Antonio Spurs. He has also, the 2017 MVP has revealed death threats have been sent to him and his family in recent days and said he refuses to take the disrespect that has been consequentially put on his family name. The point guard has been the subject of much of the abuse, with the star-studded Lakers team underperforming so far this season. The loss to the Spurs sees the Lakers sit 9th in the Western Conference. So that is obviously an amazing achievement. Ben, what would you tell me about Greg Popovich and his amazing record there?
I mean, it's such a niche record. I wish I could say that I could do it myself, but yeah, it's a brilliant achievement for him. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see how he gets on in the future as well.
Joe, obviously the Spurs right now are not doing amazingly well. They're quite low in the standings, but this could be something that could give them a bit of a boost, maybe heading on into the rest of the season.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. I'm not too big into basketball, and actually, while you were talking about
against each other, so I'm sure both of them.
Apologies for the technical difficulties there. We returned to Cameron, who was just telling us about the start of the Liverpool game.
Yeah, so it's just going to get underway in 2 to 3 minutes now. They're all lining up. Vidal and Thiago were kind of exchanging in the tunnel beforehand, both of them previously at Bayern Munich, of course, and now up against each other in this game. I'm sure they both know what each other are capable of, and that's one of the kind of matchups to look out for tonight.
Moving on to your game in the Champions League, can you just tell me a little bit about what the atmosphere is looking like in the Allianz Arena?
It's brilliant, Abs, to be honest. I just saw both sides in the tunnel with all the effects on inside the tunnel, and like similar to what Cam's just said, they're just lining up now. Yeah, packed crowd at the Allianz as per usual, and yeah, just seeing the lineups again here. A couple of big changes for Bayern Munich. Manuel Neuer comes back in as captain. After a lengthy knee injury for 4 to 6 weeks out, so I'm looking forward to seeing him back in between the sticks, and I'm looking forward to seeing Jamal Musiala in central midfield as well. Comes in for Solent Tolisso, who as well has picked up a knee injury in recent times. So yeah, they're just shaking hands at the moment with the linesman and the referee, and we're about to get underway any minute. So
okay.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm hearing there's been a score update at the Crewe Alexandra game, Byron. Can you tell me a bit about that, please?
Well, it's still 1-0 to Portsmouth, sorry. Portsmouth have been fouled. They do have a free kick in a very promising position, so we'll see if they can up their score to 2-0. But so far, it's still the same, 1-0 to Portsmouth. Okay,
back to you, Ben, quickly. The Allianz Arena is one of the biggest stadiums in Europe. Do you think that could have an effect on some of the lower league Salzburg players?
I think so. I think you'll find that quite a lot of the players, they might struggle, but you know what, Abs? A lot of them do play international football already for the likes of Austria, So
I don't think they'll crumble too much, if I'm honest. You know, they were the better side really in the first leg. So I think they'll put up a good fight tonight, but I do still think Bayern Munich might just edge it. I can't wait for it. It's kicking off now. Okay, and now we'll be taking a trip over to Coventry for our correspondent Liam to give us an update about what's going on there.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a lively start here at Coventry. There's been a few chances for either side. Coventry's front three, and again right into the Luton defence. Still 0-0 here, lively down here at Coventry.
Sorry, having a bit of trouble hearing you. What is the atmosphere at Coventry Stadium right now? Can you tell us a bit about that?
Well, yeah, it's booming. The lads over in the corner, the Coventry fans, are screaming their heads off. They've been doing a bit of everything. They've been a bit of rocking all over the world. We've got you. They've been singing them all. And their lads down on the pitch have been playing pretty well so far. Great game.
Can you just tell me a little bit about who's having the best of their early goings there?
Oh, definitely Coventry so far. Like I said, the three... Oh, just been a foul down there. Just been a foul. The front three of Coventry, Victor Gyökeres, been getting right into the defence. He's been going down the right, he's been going down the left. Gustavo Hamer in midfield. He's getting right at the attack.
Thank you very much, Liam. We'll be coming back to you for another update very soon. Cameron, do you have an update for us from the Liverpool game?
Nothing so far. We're 1 minute in, but noticeably, both of Lautaro Martinez and Alexis Sanchez are kind of pushing very high onto both Van Dijk and Matip, so a bit of early pressure there. Maybe potentially that's why Dzeko was dropped, not from the squad, but he's on the bench tonight. A bit more energy in Alexis Sanchez.
Chance! Great save, Cohn. Lewandowski already, 1 minute in. Finds himself in the penalty spot, snapshot, but Cohn goes down low to his bottom left. Really good start by Bayern, by the way. Sorry to interrupt, Cam, but it's brilliant.
We'd expect Lewandowski to finish that.
It's a great save, by the way. It's a really good save.
Thank you very much for that, Ben. Going back to you, Cameron. So it sounds like Inter Milan are coming with the intention of pressing and going very hard against Liverpool. Can you just tell me a bit more, please?
Yeah, they're being very aggressive. And actually, I thought Perisic was going to be I thought he was going to be a bit out of his depth tonight, but he's really squeezing up onto Trent Alexander-Arnold as much as possible. It seems like kind of Brozovic is kind of sitting the centre of the three centre mids to kind of make a bit of a back four with like Skriniar, Device and Bastone. So maybe potentially Perisic is going to have kind of no defensive responsibility tonight and really squeeze onto Trent Alexander-Arnold, so it stops him coming back.
Oh, have we got an update for us, Ben?
This is the most ridiculous the most ridiculous first few minutes of the football ever. Salzburg has just gone down the other end. Adeyemi's knocked it past, I think it's Gnabry at wing back. It's 2v1. He's cut it back towards Capaldo, piling in. The Argentines struck it, but it's unbelievable defending by Kingsley Coman. It's a last-ditch tackle. This is the most bizarre first 2 minutes of football I think I've ever seen. But yeah, corner, Salzburg, it's brilliant.
Kingsley Coman with a last-ditch tackle, not something you would expect. Okay, moving on quickly. We're going to have the Winter Olympics now. Great Britain will now battle to qualify for the semi-finals of the wheelchair curling in the Beijing Winter Olympics. The team of 5 improved their chances when playing against Estonia and winning 10-5. However, they have since dropped to 7th after suffering a 6-4 defeat against Sweden. And with the top 4 teams advancing to the semi-finals, Great Britain's next game is crucial that they play it against Canada. So now we're going to have an update from Exeter. Saj, can you tell us a little bit about what's going on there, please?
I can indeed, Abs. Exeter have just taken the lead. It's the man that I was telling you about a little bit earlier, Giovanni Brown, the February Player of the Month nominee, has just received the ball from the edge of the box and he's just struck it, and the goalkeeper has tried to tip it out, but he's tipped it into the top corner, and now Exeter are really coming on strong here. It was Swindon that had the major chance of the game just before that. Ian Dolo drove down the left-hand side before cutting it back to Johnny Williams, the man replacing Harry McCarty up front today. His audacious backflip didn't quite go in, and Exeter have made them pay as Giovanni Brown struck a ball from the outside of the box and struck it into the top corner. It's 1-0 here to Exeter versus Swindon.
Okay, thank you very, very much for that, Saj. We'll be coming back to you for another update soon. Joe, can you tell us a bit about the start of the Bournemouth game, please?
Well, it's been an interesting 20 minutes. We see Zeriki Dembele having a lot of fun down that right-hand side. There's a chance here, but it's just gone wide there from the centre-back. The Zeriki Dembele is having a lot of fun against his former club on that left-hand side. We've also had what looked like a flying kick from Solanke, on one of the Peterborough players, and they were down for a very long time. But nothing done from the referee, no card, nothing like that. But other than that, we've had a few chances for Peterborough, but it just looks like Bournemouth is so much more fluid. They're so quick, they know each other. It's really good. You watch this Peterborough game and think they're playing with each other for the first time.
So Bournemouth's class is showing out in the first beginnings of this game.
Yeah.
Back to you, Ben, quickly. Can you just give us an update what happened with that corner?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I kept quiet because I feel like I'm hogging all of the time here. But the balls came in, great chance for I think it's centre half Verba, and it's just popped off the side of his head and it's gone out for a goal kick. But Bayern dictating the tempo of the game, but Salzburg looked so dangerous on the break. They just went 3v3 again with Capaldo playing right centre midfield, but he's bombing on more so as a right midfielder, and but he's tried cutting the ball back again to Adeyemi, but nothing's come of it. But yeah, Bayern growing into the game a little bit more, getting Kimmich on the ball. He's just sprayed a lovely diag out to Kingsley Coman. He's 1v1 at the moment. Delivery, no, nothing comes. Corner, Bayern.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Sounds very exciting there. We're going to take a trip over to Swansea and the Liberty Stadium for our correspondent George Rees-Julian to give us an update, please.
Can you hear me?
George, any update for us?
Am I live? Because I can't hear anything. What? So you join us at Swansea, and Swansea have just had a chance. Joel Piroe on the edge of the box was about to get his shot away, but Fulham have just crept up on him. To be honest, Swansea have been on top the whole game. They've passed the ball around really well. Fulham are yet to really challenge them. Swansea have pressed them really well and pinned them in, but there's been no real chances to speak about so far. They've all been half chances. Swansea seem to get to the edge of the box, but that Fulham defence is just holding on very well. Swansea have struggled for goals this season, to be fair, but in the last few games, that's really improved. Michael Obafemi's got 4 in his last 3, so he'll be open to continue and add some more goals this season.
Fulham's star striker Mitrovic is having a fantastic season. Can you have any updates for us about him?
Well, to be honest, Mitrovic, his game so far has just been clearing the ball whenever Swansea have played it into the box from set pieces, but he does love playing against Welsh sides. He's already got 6 goals, in his 3 games against both Swansea and Cardiff this season. And Welsh fans know that Mitrovic has got a great track record. He always seems to score against the national team, Swansea or Cardiff. And as I said, earlier on in this season when these sides played at Craven Cottage, he got 3 goals. And that helped Fulham to get a 3-1 win. So I think the Swansea defenders will definitely be keeping an eye on him tonight.
Okay, thank you very much for that, George. We'll be back with you soon. Moving on to the cricket now. Our correspondent Adam Oliver is not in the West Indies, though I'm sure he wishes he was. He's in our studio now. Can we have an update from you?
£1 million for that you were talking about earlier, but yeah, England have recovered well from another poor start, much like their Ashes tour recently. Johnny Bairstow carrying on his form from the Ashes and also the warm-up match in the West Indies. He strides on to 72 from 163 deliveries, but he's been joined by Ben Foakes, who is on 41 off 81 deliveries, who's been the in and out man for England and hasn't really been given a fair chance. He's suffered with injuries and he's also been in the shadow of Joss Butler, who was good for England for so many years. But the score is currently 205 for 5 and England will look to get to close of play without losing any more wickets.
Okay, thank you very much for that update. Moving back to our Championship football, Joe, can you tell us a bit about what's going on at the Bournemouth game?
It's just no joy for Peterborough at all. They can't get like on the ball for more than 30 seconds. When they do, it's just a long through ball forward, hoping to find someone, but they're not. There was a bit of an interesting touch from Cook when he chested it straight to a Peterborough player. But other than that, it's not good football at all. Bournemouth, on the other hand, they look dangerous whenever they get the ball. They look like they're trying to move the ball forward quickly. They want to do something. The ref's letting a lot go. There was a bit of a scuffle like on the centre circle, and nothing was given. Ball went away with the ball. It's good refereeing. I like it. There's a bit of a high foot there from the Peterborough player on Solanke, but yeah, it's enjoyable so far.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll be going to our correspondent at the Fareham game. Can we have an update from you, please?
Here in Fareham, Here in Ferrum, no goals yet, but there's been plenty chances. There's already been 2 yellow cards for Handball Club, one for Mitchell Bourne and one for Oliver Koch. But nothing has happened yet in terms of goals. But Ferrum is applying a lot of pressure on the handball, and maybe they will succumb soon because they seem to be leaking more and more. That's all for now. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that update. So it sounds like it's a matter of if, not when, for Ferrum. Moving on now to the rugby, we're going to be seeing Ireland's Johnny Sexton has announced his retirement from rugby at the end of the 2023 Rugby World Cup. The fly half confessed that the France World Cup will be the finale to an incredible career that has seen the Leinster player win 103 international caps and over 500 Six Nation points. Sexton's side currently sits second in the Six Nations table and come off the back of a comprehensive 57-6 win over the Italians. Ben, can we get an update from you at the Allianz Arena, please?
Yeah, Bayern Munich really settling into the game now, using the width. Lewandowski, penalty, surely? Yeah, penalty. Bayern, great timing. Koeman cuts inside, whips in an in-swinger towards Lewandowski. He's brought the ball down so well. It's brilliant. Back towards goal, turns on the half turn, and it's sublime striker play. It's a stonewall penalty. Verba, again, hacks him down, and yeah, penalty to come.
Okay, just before we see that penalty, we're going to be going over to Salisbury to see our correspondent, and we have an update from him there.
Yeah, here in Salisbury, the away side Tiverton have just gone 1-0 up through striker Theo Simpson. He shrugged off his defender after a bit of physical play. It was a good save from Marcus Beauchamp, but he ended up slotting it around the keeper in the end. And the away side are 1-0 up as it stands here, despite some good play from Salisbury, including Josh Farrell over the top, almost scoring early on after an early breakthrough, but not quite. 1-0 here at Salisbury.
Okay, so what are the chances of the opposition getting back into this game now?
Oh, I'd say it's very high. It's been an end-to-end game, cagey affair. Not one-sided at all, just one chance going in, the other side not being as clinical. They had a very similar chance up the other end, just couldn't tuck it away.
Okay, thank you very much for that update, Oliver. We'll be back with you in a minute. Coming back to you, Ben, that penalty?
Yeah, referee is literally lining up right now. He's blowing his whistle. Lewandowski stood on the 18-yard box. Referee's having a go at encroachment from the Salzburg players. Lewandowski, trademark run-up, dispatches it, bottom left, 1-0 Bayern. Such a good penalty. There's nothing that you don't expect from Robert Lewandowski. Bit of an ambitious celebration, though. I haven't seen that before, but yeah, 1-0 Bayern. I think it might be floodgates. It's you know, they're comfortable going into the game really well. 12 minutes gone, 1-0.
Okay, so that is a big goal over there at the Allianz Arena. Some breaking news now. We've had 2 goals in 2 minutes for Sheffield United, and they are now 2-0 up over their championship rivals. Coming over back to you, Joe. Can we just have an update from the Bournemouth game, please?
Well, there was a chance for Solanke, but he's Billing, but he's absolutely shanked it wide. Yeah, they should have scored earlier, about 2 minutes ago, but they've missed. And yeah, again, there's not much more to say. It's just same thing. Peterborough clear it, Bournemouth get the ball, they build, attack, shoot and miss. I'm not sure if they've had any shots on target yet, but they've had a lot of shots. That's for
wave
sure.
after wave of Bournemouth pressure. Okay, but what's your opinion on the 2 goals in 2 minutes and the other championship game just now?
Well, I know it's an important game for Sheffield United. I'm not sure how much it affects Bournemouth or Peterborough, both being, you know, I wouldn't say safe, but you know where they are. Yeah, it's a big game for Sheffield, especially 2 goals in 2 minutes. It's quite exciting for the league. You know, best league in the world, Championship, most exciting league in the world for moments like that.
Okay, well, moving back to Salisbury now, and our correspondent there is Adam Oliver. Can we have an update from you there, please?
So, Swindon have taken a 2-goal lead here. I said earlier that Swindon were playing the better football, but one sucker punch goal from Exeter to take the lead first, and then just here on this near corner flag, Sam Nombe did brilliantly to win a corner. It looked like it potentially could have been a foul, but the referee allowed the physical play, and the resulting corner whipped in from Archie Collins, and it was Jonathan Grounds at the back post. He dug his foot out from the ground, and he put it into the bottom corner. And for his first goal of the season, Exeter are now 2-0 up against Swindon. It's a huge lead now, and it's a mountain to climb for Swindon at the moment.
Okay, that's Exeter who are 2-0 up. Thank you for that update, Saj. Can we just go back to the Allianz Arena? Something big happened there?
I'll tell you what a game. Pavard shanks a clearance and it's fell to Seivold, who's playing left centre mid at the moment. I thought he blazed it over the bar, but it's actually a great save by Manuel Neuer. He stands up tall and he's managed to claw it out the top corner. Corner to Salzburg now.
Okay.
And they're a threat from set pieces, so we'll see how we get on from here.
Okay, thank you for that, Ben. In the other Champions League game, you've got Liverpool into Milan. What's going on there?
Yeah, well, Alexis Sanchez is bringing so much energy and they're being so aggressive into Milan, flying into challenges left, right and centre, and the full-backs for me, well, the wing-backs, both Dumfries and Perisic, it's where everything's coming. Perisic has had so many crosses going into the box, and Dumfries has probably had the best chance of the game, volley from just outside the box. I wouldn't even say it was a half chance, maybe a quarter chance, but just going wide. Meanwhile, they did actually have a goal disallowed. It was so clearly offside. I mean, there wasn't even, they weren't even kind of like even saying it wasn't or anything like that. Van Dijk nearly puts it in the back of the net, but comfortable save. They weren't even like, they didn't even care. They knew it was offside. Sanchez was so far offside and Vidal slotted it in the back of the net. But there's a lot of runners from midfield as well from Inter Milan to support the front two.
Okay, so Inter having a good start. We're going to go over to AFC Tottenham quickly to get an update from the correspondent there.
Yeah, the visitors took the lead here at Tottenham Eastleigh or 1-0 up, but it was the substitute with a big impact actually. Isaac Eber came off the bench after 7 minutes. They were forced to make that change due to an injury, and he was the one that was dizzling and dazzling in the opponent's box, whipped it across the goal and managed to scramble it in at the back post. The visitors still 1-0 up here in the semi-final at Tottenham.
Thank you very much for that update. We'll come back to you very soon. And we have a goal at the Vitality Stadium. Can you tell us which way it has gone, please, Joe?
Well, as I said at the start of the programme, I thought Bournemouth were going to take it, no problems, 2-0. They've been dominating the game, and Peterborough have scored. It's Bournemouth get themselves into a mess in the back, and you've got a player who was in an offside position. I believe it was Ward, who was in an offside position, but it's just ricocheted off a load of Bournemouth players, fallen into his path, and he slots it past the keeper professionally. It's a great goal.
Football, funny old game. Now, breaking news, we've got a 2-goal lead for MK Dons against their rivals in the Championship, so we'll be keeping you up to date with that one. Coming back to you now, Byron, can we have an update for the Portsmouth game, please?
Well, it's still 1-0 to Portsmouth. They're controlling the game very comfortably. Crewe have had shots, but none on target. So we're still waiting for that. Portsmouth, on the other hand, they've had 4 shots, 6 shots, sorry, 4 on target. Looking very comfortable for Portsmouth. They're just controlling the game, really.
I'll just clear up, it was Marriott that scored, not Ward. It was a right-foot shot from Marriott into the bottom corner.
Thank you for that. Sounds like there's a chance over at Anfield. Can you talk to us about that, Cam?
The ball was kind of ricocheting around. Perisic, again, is getting a lot of joy against Trent at the moment. I feel like Trent doesn't really know if to go with Perisic or not. Obviously, the 5-back is causing a lot of problems. I think against Chelsea as well, even though Chelsea didn't win in the Carabao Cup, they caused a lot of problems for Liverpool throughout the 90 minutes. And maybe the 5-back and the wing-backs specifically are that problem. Perisic whipped in a ball, and it was just kind of jumping around the box. No one knew where it was going to go, but obviously Van Dijk to the rescue. Who else but Virgil van Dijk?
Big game, big player.
Just to interrupt, just as I was saying, it was comfortable for Portsmouth. They score again. Okay. It is Tyler Walker. Ball came into the box. Little scuffle with the ball bouncing around, but goes to his feet and he slots it in.
Okay, thank you very much for that update. We're going to be moving over to Coventry now, and our correspondent Liam is live there with an update for us now.
Yeah, it's a bit of a cagey affair here after the first 10 minutes. Coventry were on top, and now it's sort of evened out. Luton had a shot at the edge of the box about 10 minutes ago, and just then a failed cross whipped in by the Coventry right midfielder into the hands of the Luton goalkeeper. Not much going on here. Bit of a cagey affair. It's long balls over the top and being collected by goalkeepers. Nothing much on at the moment. I'll get back to you if there's anything happens.
Thank you very much for that. Sounds like a typical mid-table championship affair. Can we get an update from the Allianz Arena, please?
Yeah, massive fan. Oh my God, could be another penalty here. No, free kick. Is it a penalty? Right, it's a penalty. Is it a penalty? Penalty. It's a free kick right on the edge. I'm talking
free kick, penalty.
Millimetres on the edge.
Okay.
You're coming to me at the perfect point, Abs, because it's a throw in by Lucas Hernandez. He's bopped it. Is it inside the box?
He looks inside there.
No, that's just out.
Outside the box.
That's just out.
Oh, I think he's in. I think it's into the box. VAR check potentially. So throwing to Bayern, they've kind of bopped it into the midfield, given a free kick right on the edge. But I've been really impressed by Kingsley Coman so far. They just cannot get the ball off him. Playing that wing-back role, which is a bit unorthodox for him, but he's just so flary on the ball, just so comfortable with the ball at his feet, so sharp. But no, free kick on the edge. We've got 4 players standing over it. Lewandowski being one of them, Kimmich being the other, and Thomas Muller. But I think it's going to be Lewandowski. It's a great opportunity, this, by the way. Monty to come back to me.
Okay, and now we'll be going over to the Liberty Stadium for our correspondent, George Rees-Julian, to give us an update for the Swansea game.
Yeah, so you join us, and just moments ago, Fulham had a penalty appeal. Harrison Reed threaded the ball through to Fabio Cavallo. He was in behind the Swansea defence, and then he just seemed to fall on the ground. Fulham appealed for a penalty, the referee waved it away. He's adjudged Cavallo to have, well, he can't have adjudged him to have dived because he didn't give him a yellow card. The Swansea fans weren't very happy with him. But since the last time you come to us, Fulham have been on top. Swansea started the better. They were having a lot of possession, but not really doing anything with it. Fulham were getting the ball out on this right-hand side, and they've got their 2 Welsh players, Neco Williams and Harry Wilson, and they kind of dominated it down that side. They're getting the ball into Mitrovic. He's just been flagged for offside. He took a shot. It just went wide. Wouldn't have counted anyway. But I'd say Fulham, whilst you've come to me, Ryan Manning has just pinched the ball in the midfield. He's driving up the pitch. John Michel Sari's just cut him off, and it doesn't look like it's going to come to anything. But as I said, yeah, Fulham, you can tell they're a side who've scored 84 goals this season. They've really settled into this game now, and they're really pushing for the opener.
Okay, thank you for that update. We've got another one from Allianz Arena. 2-0 to Bayern Munich.
Second penalty, Lewandowski, same corner. Yeah, did think it was a penalty after the first look, but went to VAR. Even though the referee gave originally a free kick, but no, stonewall penalty for me. Similar challenge to the first one, actually. Lewandowski back towards goal. It's clipped his left heel, and 2-0. Looks like game over, to be honest, Abs.
Okay, so it looks like a big game might be ending a little bit early there at Bayern. So now we're going to go over to Exeter and our correspondent Saj over there. Can we have an update, please?
Abs, Exeter are really pushing to get this game done inside the first 45 minutes here. They've really been pushing, and it was Sam Stubbs who had a chance from a corner, a free header at the back post, which was headed just wide. And then moments after, Giovanni Brown in on goal again. And this time, Jojo Wallacott got his foot to the ball to stop it from making it 3-0. But Exeter are really pushing here. They're going to try and avoid the drama that they had a few weeks ago with the 4-3 against Harrogate Town at the same ground here. But yeah, Exeter are really pushing up.
Thank you very much for that update. Breaking news now, Sutton have taken a 1-0 lead against Wigan in the EFL Trophy semi-final. So we'll keep you updated with that. Do we have any updates from the Crewe Alexandra game, Byron?
Still 2-0 to Portsmouth. Crewe still no shots on target.
Goal, hat-trick.
Oh.
3 for Lewandowski after 20 minutes. It is game, set and match. Sorry, Byron, but...
No, fine.
He's done the same celebration again. Don't know what that means, but... yeah, Lewandowski, it's a great slide ball by... I don't know who's played it. I'll have to try and check the replay in a minute, but there's a slide pass, bouncing ball over the top for Lewandowski to latch onto. Goalkeeper's rushed out to try and clear it. It's ricocheted off Lewandowski. It's then looped over, hit the post, and all Lewandowski has to do is tap it into an empty net. Just going to clarify who plays the ball through. It's kind of 3v3. I think, yeah, Thomas Muller latches onto it. First time volley through the both centre halves. And yeah, easy goal for Lewandowski. Hat-trick within 23 minutes.
So it sounds like the Allianz Arena is turning into a little bit of a circus there. Can we have an update from the Liverpool game, Cameron?
There isn't too much of an update. Liverpool kind of now getting back on the ball after some pressure from Inter Milan, sorry. But I've actually been really impressed with Alexis Sanchez. I'm not sure if it's because obviously he's been against Liverpool lots of times and he's got something to prove, but his energy has been amazing. A little bit earlier on, he's just let it go through his legs, dummied it to Lautaro Martinez, and he's nearly got the other side of Trent Alexander-Arnold, and he's nearly got a shot on target. That's probably the closest we've got. I'd say there really hasn't been an effort from Liverpool thus far, at Anfield as well, which is very surprising. Inter Milan are still the team trying and looking to get a goal. I mean, they've got to.
Okay, thank you for that update. And now back to you, Baron. Is there an update for us at Portsmouth game?
Crewe have just crossed the ball in, but keeper collects it. Not really showing any attacking threat. Again, no shots on target. Portsmouth looking very comfortable.
Okay, and now back to the Championship. Joe, have you got an update for us at the Bournemouth game?
You really wouldn't think it'd be 1-0 at this point. It's all Bournemouth. You've got Todd Cantwell absolutely pulling the strings. You've got left wing Dembele, he's really tricky. He loves a good skill, you know. Probably needs to get his head up a bit more, but yeah. And then we've got Billing and Solanke, who are both just like bossing that defence, that Peterborough defence. I'm really surprised Bournemouth haven't scored, but they just aren't wearing their shooting boots. They're just banging it over the bar, high and wide. I'm expecting them to get better. I'm expecting Scott Parker to have a chat at half-time. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Bournemouth on the attack now. I mean, they're always on the attack, but here we go. They're going down the wing, and I think that Billing gets it in. It's saved.
Okay, and now quickly an update from Anfield, quickly.
Yeah, I've seen Klopp. He looked like he was going mad on my screen, but he clearly probably wasn't going mad. I think something might have happened in the stands. I'm not too sure, but I've seen kind of light fluorescent colours running in the direction of where the stands would be. So we're not sure there.
Hopefully nothing too serious then.
Yeah, obviously, hopefully.
Okay, and now we'll be moving over to our cricket correspondent, Adam Oliver, to tell us what's going on over there.
Yeah, so just as I was saying how well Ben Folkes was batting, journalism curse, he's actually now been dismissed. He was looking good, but however, he's out on 42 after being trapped LBW. However, Johnny Bairstow is continuing to bat the way he's been batting throughout the innings. He's currently on 89 off 172 deliveries. England are currently 223 for 6.
Could you just clarify what LBW means? Thank you.
Yeah, so that's like before wicket. So that means if the batsman wasn't there, the ball would have hit the stumps. So so his leg got in the way, and therefore he is out because of that.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Adam. We'll be back to you in a moment. Coming back to you, Ben, at the Allianz Arena. Any updates?
Yeah, free kick Salzburg about 30 yards out. I think it's come from Musiala handballing it. I think he's ran into a cul-de-sac, to be honest, trying to take on 4 players. He's trampled over his own feet and he's landed on the ball. So I think he's given away a free kick for handball, I believe. So yeah, dangerous position for Salzburg. See if this comes to anything. We've got Ulmer and Seidel standing over it.
Okay, so we'll see what comes from that. And now we'll be going over to Coventry for our correspondent Liam to give us an update there.
Yeah, in this cagey affair has been blown wide open, Abs. It was Victor Gyökeres coming down for Coventry on the left-hand side. I don't know how he's missed it. It was a 4-on-1. He's put it straight at the goalkeeper, and then right down the other end, the Luton striker, the big man up top, Elijah Adebayo, he jumps on the defensive mistake, weaves his way down the left and slots it into that far right corner. And the Luton fans in the corner, if you can see over there, have gone absolutely mental. They're singing "On the Way to the Football League." Up they go. They think it's their year.
Thank you very much for that update, Liam. And now we'll move to the top of the Championship for the Swansea game. George can give us an update with what's happening at the Liberty Stadium.
Actually, Neco Williams and Harry Wilson have been doing really, really well down the right-hand side, and they forced the red card, and it's going to be tough for Swansea now.
Okay, we're having a few technical difficulties with the at the Liberty Stadium. So can we have an update from? Yeah, we'll come back to him later. Can we have an update? Oh no, sorry. We'll be going to Salisbury for our correspondent Adam to give us an update there.
Oh, we've just had a really close chance from the midfielder, number 4. He's just struck it straight at the keeper and it's produced a great save. Yeah, but it still remains 1-0 here after Theo Simpson's early goal. Salisbury haven't really reacted in the way they'd hoped to so far, after the fans getting a bit frustrated with a few sloppy passes. But there seems to be a lot of light in terms of their young number 7, Baggy, who's been cutting in and producing a lot of magic. Also, striker Josh Farwell has had a few chances, but generally the centre-backs have coped with them well and still remains 1-0 here.
Okay, finally paused over there at Salisbury. And now we do have our correspondent at the Liberty Stadium. George, are you with us now?
Yes, Swansea are down to 10 men. You may be able to hear the boos around me because the fans are not happy with the decision. Ryan Manning has been sent off for a late tackle on Harry Wilson. And I haven't been able to see a replay, but to be honest, from the first sight, it did not look like a red card. Everybody inside the stadium, everybody around us, from the commentators, they all reacted very surprised. He came in, it was late, but it wasn't malicious. He didn't go in over the ball, and Swansea are down to 10 men, and it's down this right-hand side where Fulham have really started to cause problems. Neco Williams, Harry Wilson, Harrison Reed, that little corner of players, they've been causing Swansea problems. And although he's Welsh, every time Harry Wilson gets on the ball, he's getting booed out of the stadium at the minute after that decision.
Sounds like the atmosphere has shifted over there at Liberty Stadium. Do you think there's any chance for Swansea to go on and get something from this game?
I think Swansea's mentality is going to shift a little bit now. They're going to have to be a bit more defensive. They're not playing with a conventional right back tonight. We've got Corey Smith, because Cyrus Christie obviously is a Fulham player and he's ineligible for this game. So maybe Russell Martin's going to have to make a change, because at the minute they're playing with Patterson at the left back and they're playing with Corey Smith at right back. That's not a conventional defence. So it does look like Swansea are going to have to change. With Fulham, they've been on top the last 10 minutes, and now they've got an extra player. They're surely going to make that count.
So the floodgates might open at the Liberty Stadium. Thank you for that update, George. Coming over to you now in the Champions League. 4-0 to Bayern Munich. Can we have an update,
and
Ben?
he's an absolute whitewash. Serge Gnabry doing his trademark stirring the pot celebration. 4-0, slides it underneath Cohen in goal. This is an absolute shambolic performance by Salzburg. Defensively, I haven't seen anything like it. Champions League football, this is just all over the place. No communication at the back. Walking, not really stepping up as a unit. Gnabry, wing-back position, picks it up, and it's terrible goalkeeping, to be honest. Cohen, he doesn't know whether to go with a foot or a hand, kind of gets in mixed minds and goes with both. It's not even a great finish, to be honest, by Gnabry, but no, 4-0, 5-1 on aggregate. Wow, didn't expect this.
So it sounds like Ben, part of the goalkeepers union, is not happy with the Salzburg keeper there. Can we have an update from Anfield at the Liverpool game, please?
Yeah. Klopp's got his hands on his head. The two centre-backs have both had two really good chances, Virgil van Dijk and Joel Matip, both from Trent Alexander-Arnold deliveries. The first one, Trent's whipped it in, Matip's got his head on it straight off the crossbar, about 6 yards out, I'd say, and then straight from that free kick, they've got a consequential corner, and Trent, yet again, it's a free header for Virgil van Dijk, and he's kind of clipped it. It wasn't going on target, it's just brushed off. I think it was Vidal, and it's literally gone millimetres wide of the post, and two great opportunities inside probably 2 minutes for Liverpool.
So it sounds like Liverpool are going into the game. So can we move on now to Bayern? For the Portsmouth game, can we have an update there?
Well, there's going to be a lot of stoppage time at half-time. Currently, can't see who, but somebody has been on the floor for quite a while on the Crewe side. He's receiving medical attention. Again, Portsmouth's still been controlling the game, but I'm expecting to see a lot of additional minutes for half-time.
Okay, and now up to the Championship. Can we have an update for the Bournemouth game, please, Joe?
Well, we're approaching half-time. Bournemouth currently have a corner. They've been knocking on the door. We've had some brilliant play from Zamora and Dembele down the left, but they're just lacking the final pass as it's headed over by Solanke. The game's settled down a bit. Peterborough have kind of got a bit sharper in defence. They're still just booting the ball away, but they've got a bit sharper in defence. They know what they're doing now. I'm really surprised Bournemouth hasn't equalised yet. The shooting's been horrendous.
So it sounds like an upset could be on the cards at the Vitality. That is not going to be the case at the Allianz Arena. Can we have another update from you, Ben, please?
Yeah, it's just a catastrophe, to be honest, this Salzburg performance. They're struggling to string more than 3 passes together, and both strikers just look like they're asleep. Adamu just can't get the ball to stick. Adeyemi just looks sluggish. But you know what? I might eat my words here because they're in a decent position. It's an absolute scrap in the corner. You might want to stick with me here.
Okay, we'll be back to you in 1 second. We're just going to get to Exeter now for our correspondent Saj to have an update at half-time there.
Yeah, it's half-time here now, Abs. It is 2-0 to Exeter. It was a tale of two halves within the first half, where Swindon started the strongest, but without their talisman, Harry McCurdy. They had that cutting edge, and on the counter, Giovanni Brown got the goal for Exeter to put them 1-0 up. And since then, it's been all Exeter. They doubled their lead with Jonathan Grounds scoring the second. They've had 2 or 3 good opportunities to go in down the half-time tunnel as with 3-4 goals up, to be honest with you. And yeah, the last game here ended 2-1 just 4 weeks ago at the county ground. But it doesn't look like it's going to be that way this time round. Exeter won the game last time, but this one could be 4 or 5 if the game continues this way.
So it doesn't look like we're going to expect anything but more of the same in the second half from Exeter. Okay, so we're going to move on now to Fareham and our correspondent Adam Tilner. Can you give us an update from there, please?
Yeah, it's half time here at Fareham. Callum Lee has keeping still a clean sheet, which is incredible, to be honest. I have no idea how it's still 0-0 over here. And yeah, Handball Club have been very lucky with some of these chances that Fareham have created. And I think at half time, if they don't change anything, they're definitely going to lose this game. Back to you.
Thank you for that update. It's half time everywhere now, I think. We might have an update actually from the Portsmouth game.
Well, it's, again, 4 additional minutes. So the game's still going on. Again, Portsmouth controlling the game very well. Now they're advancing into Crewe's half. And he misses. I couldn't tell by the angle if that went in, but it was a miss from Portsmouth striker. And yeah, so far.
Okay, thank you for that. We're going to move back to Salisbury now for our correspondent. Can we have an update from you there, please?
After 34 minutes.
It's half time here and it's 1-0 to Tiverton after that Theo Simpson goal early on. It's been a frustrating game for Salisbury so far. They've been trying to play out from the back, but they just can't break the Tiverton press. Although it's only just 1-0 because at the end of the half, Tiverton keeper Lewis Williams made a great save and there was a half-hearted penalty shout as Joshua Farrell went up for a header, but not given after the centre-back was given fair. It was given a fair decision after he went up for a challenge. So it remains 1-0 here.
Okay, thank you for that update. We're going to move over to back to the Champions League. Can we have an update from Anfield, please, Cameron?
We've got a corner at the moment for Inter. Vidal kind of just bursting down the right-hand side. Robertson didn't track him at all. It's just come straight back off Robertson once he's recovered.
Back to you, Ben, at the Allianz Arena.
It's like a training game, to be honest, for Bayern Munich. It's brilliant play. Pavard breaks the lines with his pass in towards Lewandowski. Lewandowski then slides in Muller. It's that kind of combination again with Empere. Cuts it back to Lewandowski. Should be his 4th, to be honest. He'll be disappointed considering what form he's in. But he blazes it over the bar. Hang on, Salzburg might be in here. It might be in. Andronson? No. Neuer gathers. Neuer might as well put the kettle on, to be honest. It's all Bayern.
All Bayern right now at the Allianz Arena. Back to you, Cameron. Sorry for an update at Liverpool.
Yeah, there isn't really much update except from that we're going to probably have at least 5 minutes at a time in the first half. The game was stopped briefly for obviously that fan that was in the Kop end. I think Klopp was actually very angry that the game hadn't been halted sooner because his medical staff were ready and they were sprinting basically down there. So he brought it to the attention of the referee, I think, and that's now been dealt with.
Okay, thank you very much. And now we'll be going over to Swansea and the Liberty Stadium. George Rees-Julian, have you got an update for us there?
Yes, the referee's half-time whistle has just sounded and it was met by an absolute wave of boos. The Swansea fans are still not happy about that red card decision moments ago, and you can't really blame them because no sooner than Swansea had been reduced to 10 men, Fulham really should have scored. That man, Alexander Mitrovic, had a header from about 5 yards out, but he put it just past the post. That red card has really changed the tone of this game. Swansea were looking the better side, they were going forward, they were passing the ball about, now they're really sitting back. I wouldn't be surprised to see Russell Martin make a change at half-time, bring on a recognised defender for that left-hand side of the defence. At the minute, Matt Grimes has filled in, Jamie Patterson has filled in. That Swansea defence really looks makeshift at the minute with only 2 recognised defenders, one of them Cal Norton. He's playing at centre-half. He's not really done that in a back 2. He normally does it as a part of a back 3. He doesn't look awfully comfortable next to Ben Cabango, so I really think Russell Martin's going to need to make some changes at half-time.
So what kind of changes do you think he can make to stem the bleeding then at the Liberty Stadium?
So I can't really hear what you're saying. That the PA announcer is, well, he's too loud, if anything. I don't think anyone in the stadium can hear who's next to them.
Sorry, I was just saying, what kind of changes do you think the Swansea manager can make to stem the bleeding at the Liberty Stadium?
Sorry, did you say something then? Because Honestly, I really can't hear out a word that anybody's saying. I can't even hear what.
Okay,
I can't even
thank
hear
you
what's
for that
going on in
update.
my
We'll
own
catch
head.
up
This
with you
PA
later.
announcer's far too
I
loud.
think something has happened at the Allianz Arena again.
Yeah, Pavard is inches away from converting. It's a brilliant ball in by Leroy Sané. Again, another name. He's been excellent. He's been really, really good in midfield. A little bit of an unorthodox position for Leroy Sané, not really hogging the sideline as he normally would. But no, it's a corner whipped in swinger. Pavard flicks it on. I think he's just trying to flick it on into an area, but it's nearly crept into the bottom corner. The goalkeeper's scrambling once again, but no, narrowly wide. 5 minutes to go here, 4-0 Bayern.
So that game is basically over. An update now for the cricket, and I think we have a century. Can we get an update from you, Adam, please?
On 95, he's going from strength to strength, looking like he's going to back up his 100 that he got in the Ashes. There's currently a run-out chance though, which involves Johnny Bairstow by the looks of it. Alzari Joseph has got a touch on the ball, and Johnny Bairstow at the non-striker's end looks like he's going to be looks like it's going to be a close one. Just seeing it now live.
Where are we standing?
No. Johnny Bairstow is in, so he's still on 95. That's another life, though, for Johnny Bairstow. He's living a charmed life recently, but
is it all right if I swap?
now he's on his. He could be on his way to 100.
Okay, we are delighted to be joined in the studio by our special guest and Spanish football expert, Jordi. Thank you for coming and joining us today.
Pleasure.
I'm sure you have an agenda to talk about today. Real Madrid in the Champions League. Can you just tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, important game for Real Madrid, and important player they're recovering for this game because they have Toni Kroos again back from muscular injury, but they lose Carlos Casemiro, which is such an important player for Real Madrid. Very important in set pieces, gives balance to the midfield. He's suspended, he's not playing. So a bit of a problem for Real Madrid, even if they are in La Liga in an 8-match unbeaten run. In front of them, Paris Saint-Germain that have lost their last 2 away games in the French league against Nantes, against Nice. Even if they played Messi and Neymar up front against Nice, this will be a great match. But as you know, Real Madrid knows how to play this kind of matches. Real Madrid knows how to win. They can play defensive game or a counter-attacking game. They don't need to play the beautiful game to win. So it's a very, very, very open game for tomorrow, I think.
Kylian Mbappe has had a training injury scare. Can you just tell us a little bit about that?
No problem. He will be ready for tomorrow because Mauricio Pochettino, the PSG coach, has revealed in the press conference that they had to look at this behavior during the training session, the last training session in the Santiago Bernabeu, but it seemed there was no problem. He will be available. He will be ready. He was astonishingly looking at the development of the new Bernabeu, and Spanish newspapers are already telling that this is a sign of Mbappe coming to Real Madrid for the next season. You know, every small hint, every little hint of Mbappe coming to Real Madrid next season, Spanish press makes headlines of that.
Yeah, so apparently one Galactico could be on his way to Real Madrid. One that's already there now, Karim Benzema, is having an amazing season. Could you just tell us how important he could be for Real Madrid in this time?
Karim Benzema is maybe the best striker in European football right now after Robert Lewandowski. They are different players because Robert Lewandowski is a pure number 9. He scores lots of goals, but you see Benzema is such an intelligent player. He moves, he reads very well the game. So he's key for Real Madrid's play. He scored 20 goals in La Liga this season. He has scored 5 goals in the UEFA Champions League. He's key alongside Vinicius as a winger and Marco Asensio, who's doing a tremendous season for Real Madrid on the right wing. These 3 players are key for Real Madrid, and Benzema can be again a key man, of course, in this match tomorrow, yeah.
Okay, moving across the city now to Atletico Madrid. They have a very big second leg tie against Manchester United coming up. Can you just tell me what are maybe some team news and also what we can be expecting from Atletico Madrid and how they will approach the game?
Atletico Madrid know how to suffer. They are a suffering team. Their fans are used to suffering. Even if it seemed that this season was going to be a craft season for them because they were out of the Champions League spots, but Sevilla have been dropping points, Betis have been dropping points, Real Sociedad have been dropping points also. So they are there. They have won 4 consecutive matches in La Liga. João Felix is in great form. Luis Suarez is still scoring. Ángel Correa, the Argentinian. So they are in great shape right now. So for Manchester United, this will be a tough game because if you asked me about a month ago, Atletico Madrid were not in a great shape, but they are right now. So this will also be a very, very interesting tie.
Okay, just quickly, we're moving swiftly on to Catalonia. Barcelona are on the up right now. They're having insurgents in form, and they are doing well in the Europa League. Can you just tell me a little bit about that?
It's ironic because Barcelona playing the Europa League, it didn't happen for 17 years, 18 years. Last time Barcelona played the UEFA Cup was in 2004, and they got kicked out by Celtic Glasgow. But there's this kind of, let's say, excitement, illusion in Barcelona with this competition because winning the Europa League and then accessing to the next Champions League via the second European competition is like the beginning of a new era for Barcelona. Barca playing better every week under Xavi Hernandez. They restoring the confidence of their fans after last season, last 2 seasons, and winning the competition will be great for Barcelona. They play Galatasaray, which are now doing well in Turkish league, coached by a Catalan, Domènec Torrent, former Pep Guardiola assistant at Manchester City. Domènec knows well Barcelona, but Barcelona have been lucky in this draw, so it's a tie clearly for Barcelona, maybe right at the beginning of a new era for them.
Okay, thank you very much for your time, Jordi.
Thanks,
really
Gio.
appreciate it. So now we're going to be turning over and moving to Tottenham to get an update from our correspondent there.
Yeah, welcome back. Yeah, Tottenham, the second half is underway. Still 1-0 to the visitors. Eastleigh, thanks to Iber there setting up the goal and the substitute with a big impact. Chances for both teams. There's been 3 shots on targets for both sides, but the visitors still lead here in what is going to be a huge second half in this semi-final at Tottenham.
Okay, thank you very much for that update. We'll come back to you soon for some more. Half-time at the Allianz Arena, Ben. Can we have some opinions from you?
Yeah, whistle's just gone, half-time, 4-0 Bayern, 5-1 in aggregate. It's an absolute whitewash, to be honest. I expected a closer affair. I'd love to be a fly in that Salzburg dressing room at the moment because, wow, what a horrific performance, albeit Bayern showing their quality going forwards. Really impressed by Musiala coming in for Sorrentino Tolisso, and to be honest, Lewandowski hasn't really been in the game. It's the easiest hat-trick he'll probably ever score, but yeah, 4-0, easy.
Cut and dry game there at the Allianz Arena, and now we're going to be turning over to Coventry for our correspondent Liam to give us an update there.
Yeah, it's still 1-0 to Coventry, still 1-0 to Luton Town. Obviously, the players have just gone back into the dressing room. It's been a bit of a cagey affair, like I said earlier on. There was that one mistake by the Coventry defence that allowed Luton in, and they capitalised on that. Adebayo is not the man you want to let in, and he finished it with style. The Luton fans were loving it. So I'll expect Mark Robbins in the next half to build the midfield out for Coventry, maybe make some huge changes and flood that midfield because there was a lot of bad possession, losing the ball, loose touches and things like that. And after the first 10 minutes where they started so strong, they want to get back to that winning momentum.
Okay, thank you very much for that update. Liam, we'll be back with you for another update very soon. Cameron, we've got an update there at the Liverpool game.
Yeah, late pressure from Liverpool. They're really piling it on now. 2 minutes until half-time. Curtis Jones hasn't been happy during the half. Bit of a late challenge from Hakan Çalhanoğlu. He was down for at least 2 minutes. A lot of pain that he was in. Just a Handanovic covers here for Mo Salah. Salah's actually been really quiet today. I've got to say, I've been very impressed with Bastoni. He's kept him quiet, and to be honest, I didn't even really know he was on the pitch. He just has been oblivious, and that's not what you kind of connotate with Mo Salah.
So it looks, as things stand, it looks like Liverpool are going through, but not the easiest of rides. Can we get an update from you, Joe, for the Bournemouth game?
Yeah, the teams have just come out for the second half. They've just kicked off. No changes so far that I'm aware of. I feel like Bournemouth could bring on maybe Jamal Lowe, who scored in the last game for them. They need to do something to get their shooting boots on. They need to score goals. They're doing the right things. They're in the right areas, but nothing's happening.
So the score is currently 1-0 to Peterborough?
Yeah, still 1-0 Peterborough.
Okay. So Bournemouth currently looking for a spark at the Vitality. Can we get an update from you, Byron, for the Portsmouth game?
Yeah, still 2-0 half-time. Portsmouth dominating the game. Although they've had 38% possession, they are really showing that you do not need all the possession to dominate a game and score goals. Crewe did get one shot on target, but wasn't enough to go in. Still looking very good for Portsmouth. I expect them to score at least another 2 goals in the second half.
Okay, thank you very much for that. It's looking very good for Portsmouth. So now we're going to just have a quick update and run through all of the scores for all of the games coming across the screen right now. It's Bayern Munich 4, Salzburg 0 in the Champions League. It's Liverpool 0, Inter Milan 0 in the other Champions League game tonight. Bournemouth 0, Peterborough 1, that our panellist Joe Hayes is covering right now. Exeter are winning 2-0 over Swindon. At the Liberty Stadium, it's Fulham 1-0 against Swansea. Tiverton Town are currently leading Salisbury 1-0. Tiverton are beating Eastleigh Eastleigh are beating Tiverton 1-0. And Luton Town are beating Coventry City 1-0 in Coventry. Portsmouth are currently beating Crewe Alexandra 2-0. That has been covered by our correspondent Byron. And okay, so now we've just talked about that 2-0 game. Can you just tell us a bit about how the game is flowing right now for Portsmouth and Crewe?
So again, yeah, Portsmouth very comfortable, very, very comfortable. Again, Crewe not really showing much attacking threat. Again, with only 1 shot on target, 4 shots in total. Portsmouth, 10 shots, 7 on target. So pretty good for them. Again, a lot less possession, but they're using that little possession that they do have to make the most of it, and they're able to get 2 goals from it.
Portsmouth are they're much higher in the league table, so you would have expected them to have more possession, but obviously not the case that they need that possession, and they are making their quality shine through. We have an update maybe from Anfield.
Yeah, Trent Alexander-Arnold, I'd say at least probably 38 yards out or something on the left-hand side. He's just wrapped his foot around it, gone straight over Dumfries. I'm telling you, it's about, well, now looking at this angle, it looks a little bit wider than it was, but I'm saying it's got to be 30 centimetres wide or something like that. You could get your ruler out, 30 centimetres, and that's where it would be. And that's ended the half. What a way to end the half. Nearly top corner by Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Okay, Liverpool growing into that game. We're going to now move over to Exeter, and we're going to have an update from our correspondent, Saj, over there.
Back underway here at St James's Park. Both sides have made a substitution each. So the goal scorer, Jonathan Grounds of Exeter, who scored his 2nd league goal of the season in the first half, has come off for Alex Hartridge. And Swindon have actually put a goal scorer on. So on Saturday, it was Jack Kane that scored a 96-minute penalty winner against Bradford City. And he's come on to replace number 26, Ryan East, for Swindon Town, as they look to try and get back into things here. They need the goal scoring spark. He's the man to provide it. He's been one of their top goal scorers this season. He's been out for 2 months with a knee injury, and he came back last Saturday and he scored the winning penalty in the 96th minute. So can he do it here? Again, we'll wait and see.
Thank you very much for that update, Saj. We'll come back to you for another one very soon. Ben, at the Allianz Arena, how are things going over there?
Well, yeah, obviously half-time, like I said, 4-0 Bayern. Bayern Munich have won all 5 of their games that have come against an Austrian opponent in the Champions League, scoring 15 and conceding 3. So it was a bit of an inevitable outcome, really. Just seeing a replay of the first penalty here. Yeah, blatant foul by Verba. I don't know what he's thinking a few minutes into the game. Hacks Lewandowski down. But yeah, comfortable for Bayern, dominating possession, dictating the tempo, albeit without a few key players as well. But yeah, impressed with Thomas Muller as well. He'll be pleased to. I'll say he got an assist for the 3rd, I think it was. Yeah, for Lewandowski's 3rd, he got an assist basically, and he'll be pleased with that, considering he scored an own goal at the weekend in the Bundesliga. So, yeah, I've actually got the 2nd penalty appeal here. It's in a box, and in fairness, there's contact, but I think it does go down a little bit softly, Lewandowski. But yeah, 4-0, 5-1 on aggregate, and yeah.
Okay, thank you for that update. Looks like Bayern are going to be cruising through to the next round. But now we're going to be going over to the Liberty Stadium, and George Reece-Julian, do you have an update for us there?
Yes, Fulham have just taken the lead. It's that man, Alexander Mitrovic, with his 35th goal of the season. No sooner than the game had kicked off, really, the second half had kicked off, Fulham had got themselves in the lead. Harrison Reed played the ball out to Harry Wilson on the corner of the box, and he shifted it across to Mitrovic, who scored from about 5 yards out. It's probably one of the easiest goals he's scored out of his 35 so far in the league. And Swansea made 2 changes at half-time. They looked as if they wanted to solidify their defence. Oliver and Cham had gone off. Ryan Bennett had come on to sit in that defence as Cal Norton shifted out to the left where Ryan Manning has gone off. And they made a change in the midfield as well. Flynn Downs went down just before half-time. So Jay Fulton's come on for him. But ever since the second half's kicked off, it's been all Fulham. They're really making that extra man count.
Okay, thank you very much for that update. Mitrovic continues his red-hot form over there in Swansea. But now do we have an update from the Vitality Stadium?
It's 1-0 with a fantastic run from Christie. He just takes it, he keeps going, he takes it from the halfway line, just carries on. He's got about, it's Maradona-esque, he's got about 10 players just round him. It was 2-on-2, and then the Peterborough players sat back, all got back, rushed back, but didn't actually do anything. They're just surrounding him. I'm sure he's going to have a great picture of that. All the players around him, and they just pokes it bottom right. Keeper maybe could have done better, but bottom corner.
Okay, so it's 1-1 now at the Vitality Stadium. Can Bournemouth kick on and continue? Do we have an update for us at Crewe for the Portsmouth game?
Second half has just started. Again, just Crewe passing the ball around, trying to really improve from the first half, because the first half they didn't look in it, they didn't look any threats. Again, like Ben said about Neuer, Portsmouth's keeper could have stuck the kettle on. They only had one thing to do in the first half, so I think that's one thing Crewe really need to do, show more attacking threat.
Okay, so Crewe have a lot of work to do in that game. But now we're going to turn over to the cricket, and Adam Oliver, can we have an update from you there, please?
Well, Johnny Bairstow has just brought up 3 figures. Off 190 deliveries, he's just swept one for 4, and he's just kicked on from the ashes, really. Maybe this really is Johnny Bairstow's time. Like, he's been in and out of the side constantly. Maybe he's finally going to find a suitable position in the team and continue to kick on. England are currently on 241 for 6.
Okay, thank you very much for that update, Adam. In the game at Anfield, can we have an update from you over there?
Yeah, half-time now. It was actually getting a bit feisty before half-time. Both Alexis Sanchez and Vidal picked up yellow cards. They were flying into challenges, and one of them, yet again on Curtis Jones, he was not a happy bunny, you've got to say, and probably about 10 minutes away now from the second half. I'm just looking at substitutes here, because obviously Inter have still got to get 2 goals to get anything out of the game. So, well, at least 60th, 70th minute, you'd think that they'd just throw the kitchen sink at it. Maybe Edin Dzeko would come on, maybe Correa will come on, 2 attacking strikers who could potentially change the game on its head. Okay, so Inter will be looking forward to their bench for some firepower to hopefully boost them into the next round. And now we'll be going over to Salisbury for an update from our correspondent, Adam.
Yeah, it's still 1-0 here, but a much faster paced start from Salisbury and a much more open game in general. They had a chance a minute ago when 2 wingers, Baggy and Antonio Diaz, linked up. Oh, there's a bit of a scrap going on now. I think one of the Tiverton players has just been fouled. Looks like a nasty tackle by the way the other players on the floor, crowding around him a bit, starting down a bit. But yeah, Antonio Diaz got set through by Baggy. Probably their best chance of the half. Comfortable save from Williams in the end though, and it's still 1-0.
Okay, finally poised there at Salisbury. Thank you for that update, Adam. Can we go back to Joel? Do we have an update for us for the Bournemouth game? 1-1 right now.
Bournemouth, Ryan Christie comes in on the right. It's a fantastic long ball in. It's just the striker can't go onto it in the end. He can't get an off on it. It came out to Cook, who looked to release one from outside the box, but it was blocked quite easily.
Okay, so it sounds like Bournemouth are on top right now. What do the other team have to do to get back into this game?
I don't know. I don't think they can. The way they're playing, it hasn't changed at all. They're getting the ball, booting it away. Getting the ball, booting it away. I have no idea how they managed to score. It was just unlucky from Bournemouth to have it ricocheting round. They scoring their first goal. I'd love to see the territory stats because Bournemouth have just sat in their half all game, but they just can't find the finish. But finally, maybe now, we'll see some goals from Bournemouth.
So it sounds like the game needs a change of pace there. Maybe some substitutes from Peterborough could be coming soon?
Yeah, I'd like to see Sammy Sporadics come on. I think he could change the game.
Okay, so what would you like to see from a Peterborough standpoint then?
Just a bit more control. Just to, like, calm down, get the ball, string a few passes together. As I'm saying, this Bournemouth have gone into the box, but it's defended well. They are 10 men behind the ball at all times. I'm not sure what that was. The ref's given a foul, though, to the Peterborough player, who's now rolling on the floor like he's been shot. But yeah, just more control on the ball. They need to play simple football better. It's not even about trying to score or doing long balls. Just get the ball, pass it, and play. And I'm just not seeing that. So
Peterborough are parking the proverbial bus. Players like Dominic Solanke, how are they faring in this game?
He's had a good first half, Solanke. He's lacking the finish again. He tried a scorpion kick earlier on that went across the goal. But yeah, he wants a goal today. I feel like he might get one today.
Okay. And now back to you, Byron. Can we have an update from the Crewe Alexandria game?
Well, Crewe just had another chance, but again, just bouncing off loads of Portsmouth defenders. Portsmouth were able to eventually get the ball out where Crewe did get the ball back, tried to cross it in, but just went on top of the goal. So, again, still trying to look for that attacking push, but not really. It's just really just shoot the ball, shoot. Nothing technical, really.
Okay, thank you very much. And now we're going to be going back to the Liberty Stadium where there has been some big news.
Yeah, Fulham have extended their lead. They are 2-0 up now. Harry Wilson again causing massive problems down the right. He crossed the ball in and it came off Benko Bango, and Fulham are now taking a 2-0 lead. They've got 86 goals in the league now this season. To be honest, their goal difference looks more like a points total than it does a goal difference. And ever since that red card and ever since the start of the second half, Fulham have just been utterly dominant. Swansea can't even get out of their own half. Joel Piroux, who's Swansea's main man up front, he's playing in midfield position. That's how far back Swansea are. And they can't even get out of their own half. It's going to be an uphill battle now for Swansea.
Is there any chance for them to get back into the game, or does this just look like a cut and dry victory for Fulham?
Looking at the Swansea shape at the minute, they just seem so far behind. Even if they do win the ball back, it's going to take a very good counter-attack for them to get up the pitch. And the problem with Swansea so far this season is they can have loads of possession of the ball, but they really struggle to make chances. They're towards the bottom of the table if you look at shots on goal per game. I think they average just a handful, really, to be honest. And do I think Swansea can get much out of this game? No, I think Russell Martin's going to be more concerned about keeping that scoreline down.
Okay, thank you very much for that, George. We'll come back to you very soon. Has the second half started over at the Allianz Arena, Ben?
Yeah, good timing, Abs. The players have just came out. There's a substitution at half-time. We've got fullback Sarr coming on. I think Serge Gnabry's been replaced, I'm pretty sure. Looks like it's going to be a like-for-like. But no, going back to Salzburg, they're winless in their last 3 in the Champions League, so this was a bit of an inevitable outcome. And despite the fact they've won their last 8 league games, this performance has been so below par. And Thomas Muller is kicking us off for the second half, so I'm expecting a fair few goals here, Abs. So.
Okay, it sounds like the manager's trying to take care of his players and maybe
definitely
see out the game. Okay, thank you for that. Now we'll be going over to Coventry for our correspondent Liam. Do you have an update for us there?
Yeah, the second half's kicked off and Coventry have been right on top of it, just like the start of the first half. The first 10 minutes of the second period have been absolutely all Coventry. That front three, I don't know what the manager fed and Mark Robbins fed in the half time. I don't know if he's given them their weakness. They've been flying it about, pinging about. Martin Waghorn got the touch of a god at the moment, who is pinging everything about. And the left back, Ian Martin, down the side, who fires it just over the bar. They've had a few points free kicks as well. This looks like it could be a good game in the second half.
Okay, finally poised there in Coventry. Thank you for that update, Liam. We're going to go back to the Liverpool game at Anfield. Have they started the second half there?
They have not. I've just been watching an advert of Reece James and Lauren James, funnily enough. So I think we're going to get underway in, I'd say, probably the next 5 minutes. Obviously, we had the 5 added minutes in the first half for what happens in the stands. So yeah, we'll probably be a little bit later tonight, 5 or 10 minutes later than the other games.
Okay, so what are you expecting to see from both teams in the second half then?
I think it's going to be even more open. I mean, it was a nervous first 5 minutes by Inter Milan, but then they really started to squeeze on, and as soon as they got the ball, they looked to transition as quickly as possible to catch out basically both fullbacks of Liverpool who were really pushing high. And they're just going to have to flood players forward. It's going to create space for the likes of Salah, Mane, Jota, so potentially they could have a few goals to say. But likewise, obviously, if Inter Milan have got all of their players going forward and potentially another striker, what's to say that they can't get on the score sheet as well? The next goal's, I'm going to say, it's going to be crucial, the next goal.
Obviously, the Champions League has decided to do away with the away goals rule now, so that's going to have a big impact on how games are played home and away. How do you think it's going to affect this game right here?
Well, obviously, you could say that Liverpool, when they went to Inter Milan, they'd had 2 goals already. So I'm sure if Inter Milan go and score 2 goals tonight, I mean, they could kind of argue that it kind of disrupted it. I mean, for me personally, I didn't mind the rule, but from when I was growing up, it was always kind of a rule. So it's been kind of the norm, people would say. Interested to see what Ben thinks of it as well. But yeah, it was kind of the norm. So to move away from it seems a little bit odd for the first few months at least.
I don't think away goals is going to do much for Salzburg in this tie, even if it was around. So what do you think about the away goal being taken away?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't mind it. I feel, you know, there's a level playing field with both sides playing home and away anyway. And yes, I'll be just reiterating what Cam said, but hang on, Muller's in, slides in Sane, deflection, and it's a corner. I think, yeah, Lewandowski with a strike, looking for his 4th goal, just finds himself just outside the area, and it's a decent block actually by the fullback. The centre-half, Verba, sorry. But corner Bayern, but like I said, well, like you said, Abs, absolutely no chance of Salzburg being bothered about the away goal here.
Okay, thank you for that. We'll now be turning our attention to Tiverton, where we have an update from our correspondent there.
Back to Tiverton here as the fans, you'll be able to hear, are trying their best to spur the sides on. There they are, and it's still 1-0 to the visitors here. Double change for Tiverton. Oliama replaces Ben Jefford. I would have seen a goal, but it's ruled out. Ruled out there. Yeah, ruled out there at the back post. Nearly doubling the lead, Eastleigh. So it came at a good time there. Double change for Tiverton in the second half, as I was saying. Oliama replaces Ben Jefford, and Casemiro comes on for Gwengwe. It's all heating up here. Half hour or so left in the semi-final at Tiverton.
So what do you think the half-time team talks has done for these teams? What do you think has changed in the second half?
Sorry, we can't hear any questions that you have for, so apologies.
Sorry, I was just saying that obviously the half-time team talks have had an effect on both teams. What do you think, what can you see that's different in the second half now?
I emailed Dave telling him that was a problem.
Okay, sorry, so some technical difficulties there. We're gonna go back to you, Ben, at the Allianz Arena. Anything come from that corner?
No, Abs. No, not much. Just Bayern picking up the ball, picking up second ball. They're so good at picking up second balls. Nagelsmann's clearly implemented a brilliant strategy with his side at the moment. Similar to I think George Reece-Julian, sorry. Salzburg struggling to get out their half, similar to Swansea. But no, it's just a stroll in the park really, Abs. Still 4-0.
Cruising into the next round, our Bayern then. So now we're going to turn our attention to Exeter and our correspondent Saj there. Can you give us an update, please?
Yes, Sad. So Swindon have come out firing in the second half. They've subbed on Jack Payne, and they've really pushed it at the moment. Had 2 clear opportunities. Jack Payne, one of them, placed it over the bar, but the manager of Swindon, Ben Garner, will be hoping his team talk has worked, because if they win their 2 games in hand, which they have, this being one of them, this match was postponed on Boxing Day due to COVID within both sides. But if they win these 2 games in hand, they could go second and into the 2 automatic promotion places. And they're currently 1 point off the top 6 here, so they really need to bounce back and even try and salvage a point. That would be enough to move them in to the top 6 for today, and then maybe even push into the top 2. But yeah, they're really coming on strong here, Abs.
Okay, thank you very much for that update. And now we're going to turn our attentions to Fareham and our correspondent Adam there. Do you have an update for us?
Well, second half is well underway here in Fareham. Handball have made 1 change with Ryan Wilkins coming on. And definitely they have stepped up their game from the first half and have been the better team for now. They have missed 2 great chances. There's been 2 empty net tap-ins, a block on the goal line by the defender, and I can tell you what, if someone's having a very tough game, it is definitely the referee.
Okay, thank you very much for that update there, Adam. Coming back to you, Joe, at the Vitality, any updates there?
Previously, we had Todd Cantwell, absolutely he's gone past 2 players with a little Ronaldo chop and a flick through the legs. It was unbelievable. He just lost the ball at last minute. And then we've got Peterborough trying to counter-attack. Billing gives away the foul initially. The ref plays on, and then he just rakes down his foot with his studs there on the back of his heel. It was, yeah, really silly foul. He takes the yellow card. Peterborough players are complaining about it, but yeah, yellow card for me, really unnecessary, pointless.
Okay, thank you for that update. And now we're going to turn our attentions to Coventry for our correspondent Liam. Do you have an update for us there?
Yeah, so we thought this was going to be a cagey affair in the first half. We said mid-table championship game, yeah, it's going to be a bit of a stinker. At the moment, it's looking like it's going to be an end-to-end proper last 30 minutes here. We've had a few feisty tackles going in, a couple of yellow cards. Harry Cornett for Luton has come off. For a named Premier League fans will definitely know. Anyone remember Cameron Jerome? The streets will never forget. And we also had Martin Waghorn come off for Coventry, who I thought was having a great second half. He was pinging the ball about, like I said, good touches. And they brought him on for Callum O'Hare, who they're looking for a bit of pace in behind that Luton defence. And just as that happens now, a big tasty tackle in midfield. We'll get back to that if anything happens.
Okay, so it looks like we're in for an enthralling last 30 minutes there at Coventry. But now we're going to take a trip over to Salisbury for our correspondent Adam to give us an update.
Yeah, it's 2-0 now to Tiverton after Kyle Wigan's corner was met by Austin Booth's header. And it's just kicked off a little bit behind me with one of the Salisbury attackers and one of the defenders getting into a tussle. He got dragged down. All of the players were shouting at the linesman. But yeah, it remains 2-0. And the goal scorer, Theo Simpson, he's been causing carnage and havoc up and down the field, out-muscling a lot of defenders with his speed and strength. But yeah, it remains it's 2-0 now here.
Okay, thank you for that update. And now we have a goal to tell you about at the Allianz Arena. Which way has it gone, Ben?
It's just great, as you can imagine. It's the home side Bayern Munich. Intricate play with it, Sane, Kimmich, and it falls to Muller just inside the area. Swings a left boot at it, weak foot, fires into the bottom corner. It's such a cultured finish. And yeah, I repeat, I mean, he scored an own goal against Bayer Leverkusen at the weekend in the league. He's going to be buzzing with this tonight. He's an absolute madman, celebrating like an absolute moron again. But yeah, 6-1 on aggregate, 5-0 Bayern. Julian Nagelsmann is buzzing.
No way back it seems for Salzburg then. Now we're going to have a quick run through of all the scores that are going on tonight. As we just heard from Ben, it's Bayern Munich 5, Salzburg 0 at the Allianz Arena. It's still 0-0 between Liverpool and Inter Milan at Anfield. Bournemouth and Peterborough are drawing 1-1 right now at the Vitality Stadium. Exeter are leading Swindon 2-0. Fulham are 2-0 up against their 10-man Swansea City at the Liberty Stadium. Tiverton are 2-0 up against Salisbury. Eastleigh are 1-0 up against Tiverton. Luton are 1-0 up against Coventry in that mid-table championship clash. And Portsmouth, as our correspondent is going over there, is 2-0 over Crewe Alexandria. Speaking of Swansea and Fulham, we're going to have take a trip over to the Liberty Stadium for our correspondent George. Do you have an update for us there?
Yeah, it's still all Fulham here at the Liberty Stadium. Swansea did just have a chance, Jamie Patterson from the edge of the box, but he didn't test the keeper. And Fulham have just made 2 changes. They've brought off Fabio Cavallo and Neeskens Cabano. Ivan Cavallero and Bobby Decordova-Reid have come on for the league leaders. And they look like they want to add some more goals. And to be honest, this Swansea defence looks very susceptible to shipping a few more goals.
Okay, thank you for that update, George. We'll come back to you very soon. Back to you, Cameron, for the update at the Liverpool game. What's going on between Liverpool and Inter Milan?
It's a frantic start, as I kind of predicted. Both sides are going for it. And there's been a whole host of chances. One of them, most notably, has been Hakan Çalhanoğlu, whipped in a great free kick. Oh, We've got something. Oh, Salas hit the post. Ooh. I'm not sure what's happened there, but it looks like Handanovic has come to collect the ball, hasn't grabbed it, and it's just Salah around the penalty area. Just dragged his shot straight onto the post. That's obviously the best chance of the game, but previously, Çalhanoğlu put a great delivery in, and it saw Alexis Sanchez actually have a free header, but I mean, you wouldn't connotate him with scoring many headers, and it was kind of straight at Alisson, as you would have predicted.
Okay, also now, we're going to have an update from the Vitality Stadium for Joe Hayhurst.
Well, like I said, Peterborough needed that person to change the game, and they have brought on Sammy Szmodics, and instantly he's made an impact. They're finally seeing a bit of pressure here. Bournemouth struggling to get the ball out as Peterborough are playing around their box, and that's a foul there by Cantwell. And it's an edge of the box, free kick on the edge of the box for Peterborough in a promising position.
Okay, so just I'd like to talk to you quickly about the new Champions League update for the upcoming seasons. They've decided to change the format. Can you just tell me what you think about that, Joe?
Is that away goals, yeah?
No, sorry, the new format for the Champions League, the league table. They're doing away with the...
yeah. For me, I'm not the biggest fan, but I don't really like, football fans are all the same. We don't really like change that much. I guess it'll be interesting, longer competition. I think I'll have to see it in action before... it gets there, because at the moment I'm not the biggest fan.
Go back to you, Cameron. Those two teams, Liverpool and Inter Milan, are fighting extremely hard to try and get into the next round. The Champions League might not be the same way as we know. Oh, we have an update for Portsmouth.
Another goal for Portsmouth. That is Hurst's second goal. Again, ball gets crossed in. Hurst has no problem jumping up, headering the ball in. It did start off with a few parries from the keeper, but once the ball came out the box, got crossed back in again, and Hurst put it away. 3-0 Portsmouth.
3-0 Portsmouth. That looks like easy 3 points there for Portsmouth with Crewe Alexandria. Back to you, Joe, for the Championship game at Bournemouth.
Yeah, Peterborough are playing for a draw here. They've had about 4 corners in quick successions, and it's taken them about 2 minutes to walk over to get the ball. That's twice now. Bournemouth players are getting agitated, but we'll see what comes of this corner. Nothing. Sammy Szmodics had a shot on target, but it's just ricocheted off the defence, and it's another corner. No, it hasn't gone off apparently. Todd Cantwell can now move, and he's been fouled there.
Okay, so the game is having a little bit of a lull right there at Bournemouth. We're going to take a trip over to Exeter now for our correspondent Saj to give us an update there.
Yes, there's been a bit of a, I'd say somewhat bit of a scrap here. The captain, Dave Conroy of Swindon, getting into a bit of an argy-bargy with the goalscorer Giovanni Brown as Swindon were making a substitution. It wasn't even Giovanni Brown that was involved. It was Sam Nombe that was replaced by Kieran Phillips for Exeter. But the Swindon captain has just been a dangerous position free kick here now. But yeah, as I was saying, it was Sam Nombe that was coming off the pitch, and the captain Conroy felt as if they were milking it in terms of time to get off the pitch. And Giovanni Brown got in the way of it. And yeah, they got into a bit of argy-bargy. Not really, no yellow cards were given, but it's spicing up here, I must say, as these two promotion-chasing teams are looking for it. I'm not sure if you've just had a goal elsewhere, but you might want to stay with me for this free kick. It looks like it's going to be whipped in by Giovanni Brown. If you want to stay with me, I'm not sure if you've had a goal. I've just seen. Okay. You can come back to me in a second if you want.
We'll be back to you very shortly for an update there, Saj. Joe, do we have something going on at the Vitality?
Oh, he's taking it slowly. He's going to try and whip it round. He's passed it inside, and it's great defence there. Great defence from Cook. Bournemouth are now going to play out from the back, yeah.
Okay.
Nothing coming from that.
Ben, do you have an update for us at the Allianz Arena?
Yeah, it's a horrific, it's not horrific, but it's a dreadful, cynical foul by midfielder Kamara for Salzburg, and it's on Kingsley Coman. Just too sharp Bayern for Salzburg, and dangerous free kick here for Lewandowski. Lewandowski and Sane both standing over it, about 25 yards out. Sane fakes it, Lewandowski over the bar.
Over the bar. Okay, thank you for that. So now we're going to take a trip over to the Liberty Stadium and get an update from our correspondent there, George Rees-Julian.
Yeah, it's becoming a bit of a trend, isn't it? Fulham have scored once again from Harry Wilson. He's been an absolute nightmare. He's crossed it in. I think it was Bobby Decordova-Reid who got their header off the bench. He took, 10 minutes, and he's got himself a goal. Fulham, they're just unstoppable. The Swansea defence really cannot handle their attack at the minute. And as I said, Harry Wilson, he's got the freedom of Swansea tonight down that right-hand side.
What's the atmosphere like at the Liberty Stadium? Not great, I'm sure.
Oh, you've literally, as you've asked me that question, Swansea have scored. I didn't see who got it. Joel Piru was doing his celebration, so maybe he got a touch. They've crossed the ball in from this right-hand side, and as I've looked up, it's hit the back of the net. Swansea have got one back, and, well, to answer your question, the atmosphere has picked up ever so slightly. I don't think the fans are going to think there's a comeback.
Do you think there's any chance of a comeback, or do you think it's just a mere consolation goal? Sorry, I just said, do you think there's any chance of a comeback for Swansea, or does that look like just a consolation goal?
Well, I mean, Fulham are making another change here. Tom Kearney's coming on for Jean-Michel Seri. I think it's his first game back from a bit of an illness, but do I think Swansea can make a comeback? I mean, anything's possible in football, but with Fulham having that extra man, with Fulham being so good going forward, I think Fulham are more likely to get any goals. If Swansea do manage to score, I think they're probably going to ship some as well, so I don't think a comeback is very likely, no.
Okay. So we've just seen a goal at Liberty Stadium, but now we've got a red card in Fareham. Adam, do you have an update for us there?
Yes, it's a red card here for Tom Green from Handball Club here at Fareham. It was a simple foul, and he didn't take much liking to it. Lashed out against the opponent, and he was sent off. Followed a scuffle involving almost both teams. And now it really seems that after having a good start to the second half, Handball Club will have a lot of problems to get anything out of this game. Still goalless for now. They came very close as the Handball Club captain rocketed a shot off the crossbar, but still nothing so far. Back to you.
Okay, thank you for that update. We'll come back to you very soon for another one. It's a tight game at Anfield. Inter do need a goal, or 2 goals in fact, to get anything from this game. Are they pushing for that?
They're pushing really hard, and you really can't fault them for any effort that they've put on the pitch tonight. We're nearly coming up to the 60th minute now, and the only thing I'd say is that now all the Inter Milan players are flushing forward. It's kind of now creating a bit more space for Liverpool, and they're kind of controlling the game a little bit more. But as soon as Inter Milan get on the ball, they instantly look to go forward. Just a second ago, Perisic down the left-hand side yet again, really bright. Ooh, Sanchez has stepped over one here. Lautaro Martinez inside the area. He's just dragged it wide, left of the post. But they're getting space. When they go forward, they're getting space. And Perisic a minute ago, another great delivery then. He seems to be the main man that seems to be creating stuff for Inter Milan. So if a goal's going to come, it might come through him.
Okay, thank you for that update. We're going to take another trip over to the Liberty Stadium. George, do you have an update for us?
Yeah, no sooner than Swansea have pulled one back, Fulham have restored their 3-goal lead, and it's Neco Williams with his first senior club goal. He hit the crossbar from the weekend from the halfway line. This was much simpler. He tapped it in from about 5 yards after Andy Fisher made the initial save. You were asking me about the chances of a Swansea comeback, and I told you that they were going to ship more goals probably than they were going to score, and that's happened. And I think Russell Martin is going to be very frustrated with how quickly Swansea let in another goal.
Dark days for Swansea fans at the Liberty Stadium. We're going to take a trip over to the Vitality now. Do you have an update for us there, Joe?
Yeah, Bournemouth playing sublime football. Again, it's just final pass that they can't get right as Cantwell crosses the ball in and it just goes miles away. But they're playing some brilliant football. The link-up play is beautiful. It's just they need that final finish.
We have to apologise for the language from our correspondent there, George. It was, I think he was saying ship, so we'll apologise for that one. Do we have an update for us, Byron, for the Portsmouth game?
Portsmouth still dominating the game, still 3-0. Crewe, they're going on runs, they're making attacking runs, but Portsmouth have no trouble closing them down and continuing their attack. So, again, still really comfortable for Portsmouth.
Okay, 3-0. Do we have any update for us at the Allianz Arena? I'm sure Nagelsmann will be looking to ring the changes soon to take care of some of his players.
Abs, you've took the words out of my mouth. We've literally got a double substitution right this minute. Musiala's coming off for... I can't make it out, but I think there are a few academy lads coming on, actually, by the looks of it.
It's a great goal!
goal.
There we go.
We have a goal at Anfield.
I've got to interrupt. Lautaro Martinez has scored for Inter Milan and the game is surely back on now. 2-1. Alisson's got no chance. Top right-hand corner. I'd say nearly 25 yards out, just on the left side of the box. Top right-hand corner, I can't believe it. It's actually been... The ball's just swirled away from Alisson. It's nearly hit the upright. It's honestly a great effort. Matip trying to play it out from the back, and Perisic intercepts it. Sanchez to Lautaro Martinez, and he's just thought, I'll hit it. And it's just gone top right-hand corner, and the game is well and truly back on.
Okay, so Inter Milan are now looking to put some pressure on Liverpool and hopefully get that second goal that would take it to extra time.
Yeah.
So now back to you, Ben. What was that you were saying about the changes?
Yeah, just a few changes. It's a flurry of changes, to be honest, for both sides. Salzburg are protecting their main lads, Adeyemi and Adamu. Both of their centre forwards have came off for some fresh legs. But yeah, I think it's just a case of saving them for their league games. This is dead and buried for Bayern Munich. But no, not many other chances or anything, to be honest. A bit of complacency from Bayern, but I'm sure Nagelsmann won't really mind.
A bit of a lull in the Bayern game there. We're now going to be taking a trip over to Salisbury for our correspondent Adam to give us an update there.
It's 2-0 to Tiverton, and they're killing the game at any chance they can get, which is leading to a lot of frustration in the Salisbury camp, with even manager Steve Claridge receiving a yellow. There have been a few naughty challenges and yellow cards dished about, but yeah, not a great showing from the home side for the 280 fans who showed up tonight.
Okay, so more of the same over there in Salisbury, but we have a big happening in that Liverpool game at Anfield. Cameron, what's going on there?
Yeah, as soon as they scored, and Alexis Sanchez assists, and he's now walking off the pitch. He's got a red card. I didn't see if it was a straight red card, but I know that he was already on a yellow from the first half, and they are not happy. The whole Inter Milan around the referee, just getting a replay here now. He's stretching for the ball, and he's got the ball, but he's really followed through on Fabinho there. Got him I'd say just on the ankle. Yeah, just on the ankle. He's already on a yellow, so potentially it's not going to get overturned or anything. But, I mean, the boss, the players, everyone is around it at the moment. I don't think he's having any of it. He's not even going to look at VAR or nothing. And to be honest, I don't think he has to. It's a simple yellow card. But come back to me in a few seconds and I'll just confirm that for you.
So no sooner as Inter Milan got themselves back into the game, they have now been given a very, very controversial red card. But now we're going to take a trip over to Coventry. Liam, do you have an update for us over there?
10 minutes to go in this game at Coventry, and we've just had a massive chance. Callum O'Hare for Coventry, the substitute. Mark Robbins brought him on. I don't know what he brought him on for, but it seems to have worked because he's injected loads of life into this Coventry side. They're flying it about. He's running around like a rabbit, mental. And there's been a few yellow cards. We've had a few naughty challenges here and there. The game's getting a bit feisty and the Coventry fans are getting a bit antsy.
Okay, well, we're bouncing from pitch to pitch, and now we're going to find ourselves over in Exeter for our correspondent Saj. Do you have an update for us in Exeter?
Yes, Abdullah, it's just gone 3-0 to Exeter City. It's Mathieu with his 12th goal of the season. He's currently 5th in the Golden Boot race in League Two. But it was brilliant interplay from Josh Key and Giovanni Brown down the right-hand side. Giovanni Brown pulls the ball back to Mathieu on the penalty spot, I'd say, and he just whipped it into the far corner. And it's 3-0. The Exeter fans right next to me are just leaving now. It could be game, set and match. 3 goals, 3 points, potentially for Exeter City as they climb into 3rd place. What a night for Exeter City.
So big happenings at the top of the League Two table there. Do you have an update for us at the Anfield?
He's in it.
Oh.
Salzburg, what a goal. Oh my God. It's 5-1. It's an unbelievable finish. I can't make it. I think it's one of the substitutes. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, it's Kjærgaard, substitute midfielder. He's came on. It's 3v2 on the break. It's that man Aronson who I mentioned before the game. Plenty of created 5 chances in the first leg. He's broke for the midfield, and Upamecano doesn't know whether to track him or follow his runner behind him on his right shoulder. Slides in Kjærgaard, and he's absolutely lashed it top corner. So, yeah, what a game. What a finish as well. Probably goal of the game, if anything. So, yeah, Salzburg get a goal back.
Fantastic goal, but a consolation is all that it's going to be. Back to you at Anfield. Can we have an update on that red card?
Yeah, the ref's taken his dog for a walk. He's let him off the lead and he's put him down into the changing rooms. That's Alexis Sanchez off, and they'll be playing 10 men for the rest of the match. Naby Keita has come on for Liverpool, as well as Henderson. So it looks like they'll be trying to shore up the midfield. But obviously, there's only one goal in it, and what's to stop Inter Milan? They're not going to change anything. They've got one less player, but sometimes teams can play better with one less player. It's just what football is, and you never know what's going to happen next. So the game's far from over here.
So a deflating red card for Inter Milan, but they are still pushing for that second goal. We're now going to be bouncing over to Tottenham for an update from our correspondent there.
Well, how on earth have Eastleigh not already booked their place in this final? They are only 5 minutes away, 5 minutes left of normal time here at Tottenham, but Eastleigh have, battered them with massive chances in the last 5-10 minutes. They've had some good moments in this second half, Tottenham, but Eastleigh, the biggest chances have fallen to them. They've hit the post just a few minutes ago, and Liam Noyce there for Tottenham, their number one, made 2 incredible double saves to keep them in the tie. Just a few minutes left here at Tottenham. Can they push them and try and get that massive equaliser to take this one to penalties to head through to the final?
Exciting times in this game over there. Action all over the place, and we're going to be moving over to Fareham now to get an update from our correspondent, Adam.
Well, who would have thought, but it's Handball Club who score with 10 men on the pitch. A great chance, great counter-attack, as a great cross came in from the corner flag, and it will substitute Kelvin Robinson, who slots it in. And it will be definitely interesting to see if they can hold on to the...
Having some technical difficulties, hopefully we can get Adam back in the near future. We're going to go over to the Vitality Stadium. Joe, do you have an update for us there?
Well, you say it's exciting all around the stadium at the moment, but here the game's just completely died. Peterborough have had the better chances. We're into the 87th minute now. Actually, we've got a run. He's in here.
Ooh.
Oh, it's side netting. I thought that was in, but side netting. It's taken a deflection. It's a great block in the end. We've got corner here for Peterborough. They've been the better team second half, I must say. Solanke has been completely silenced by the Peterborough defence. He just can't get any space on the ball. Cantwell, who was looking promising, hasn't got that pass in him anymore. He's just absolutely launched it forward away about 5 minutes earlier. Bournemouth are getting in positions and throwing it away. It looks like Peterborough have had the best of the chances in the second half by the Bournemouth goal.
So 1-1 was not the result we was expecting at the beginning of the game. Who do you think this is is it a better result for Peterborough or a worse result for Bournemouth?
It's a fantastic result for Peterborough, I think. They're taking about 30 seconds to take the corner, so you know they want the draw. It's a great result. Ball comes in here. Oh, it's gone over the keeper, but somehow stayed out, and the ref's given a foul to the goalkeeper. I think he might be unconscious. Oh, no, he's not. He was just lying down. But yeah, it's almost criminal from Bournemouth the way they've played this game. I'm not a fan of it at all.
Okay, so it looks like that game is going to be ending 1-1. We'll come back to you if there's any updates. Now we're going to be going over to Salisbury. Looks like we have some happenings over there.
It's 3-0 to Tiverton. And it's carnage behind me as the Salisbury striker has just gone down in the box. Everyone's screaming for a handball. But yeah, 3-0 to Tiverton. Just as it looked like Salisbury were going to get at least a consolation goal from this game from a corner. Theo Simpson's power again on the counter-attack, striving forward. He lays it off to Jordan Lamb, the substitute who's just come on, who sends the keeper the wrong way and slots it home. And that's game over.
Okay, game over in Salisbury, and as all the other games should be winding down, you would think that is the case, but not at the Liberty Stadium. We have another update from George.
Yeah, Fulham have extended their lead. It's now 5-1, and it's Neco Williams. He got his first senior club goal earlier, and I spoke to you about how simple a finish that one was. Well, this second one was an absolute stunner. He cushioned it with his chest on the edge of the box and hit it with his right foot across the keeper, straight into the top corner, and that was the cue for the Swansea fans to leave the ground. They've all left. Looking around me now, I see a load of empty seats. The Swansea fans are not happy with this performance.
Not the greatest result for the Swansea fans there, but you, George, do at least look very fetching in your hat over there. Thank you very much for the update. So now back to Anfield. Any updates there?
No, Mane's just got a yellow card. Just a bit of a, well, it wasn't even a late challenge. He's just kind of gone to go past Bastoni, touched him in the face. He's gone down, and then obviously there's a bit of kind of controversy of them saying, oh, I did it on purpose. It looks like there's going to be 2 substitutions now. Damian and Correa are both going to come on. I'm not too sure for who yet. It looks like a triple substitution, and they've already made 1. So that's 4 substitutions that's going to be made already. Goussans as well, so 2 wing-backs potentially coming on. Not probably the substitutions I would have made at this point, but yeah, needing to get a goal, I wouldn't have put 2 wing-backs on personally.
So maybe not something that you would have done, but it looks like the Inter are trying to throw the kitchen sink at
Prove me
Liverpool.
wrong.
Yeah. So now we're going to have an update from Byron. Anything going on at the Portsmouth game?
Well, Crewe almost just scored from corner. Again, another situation where the ball was bouncing around all the players. Came off the crossbar, seemed like it went inside the goal, but I'm pretty sure it went on the line and bounced back out. Crewe players were not happy with it. They were protesting, went over the line, it was a goal. The referee hasn't given it as a goal, but still 3-0 to Portsmouth. I think they know that they've won the game.
Okay. So now we're going to have an end-of-day update for the cricket from our correspondent Adam Oliver in the newsroom.
So the day is done. Bairstow and Wokes have carried their bats. Johnny Bairstow, 109 not out. Superb innings from him so far. Chris Wokes, 24 not out. Batted superbly in supporting Bairstow. It started off a poor day for England, being 57 for 4. But a great fight back from the middle order, which was completely the opposite during the Ashes, where England could barely score a run. However, wickets for 2 for Jason Holder, 2 for Kemar Roach, and 2 for Jayden Seales. It's an even day today. You'd say that neither team has really taken the initiative and had a good day. But yeah, a game in the balance after day 1. 268 for 6.
Okay, thank you for that, Adam. Going back over to the Allianz Arena, that game is obviously winding down now. Can you just tell us about what the atmosphere is looking like there for the Bayern fans? They obviously know that they're through to the next round now. So
yes, Abs. Yeah, 78th minute, 5-1 Bayern, 6-2 on aggregate, and it's just winding down a little bit, to be honest. Bit of complacency from Bayern. Several substitutes. It's been a little bit flat, but who could blame them? They did the job in the first half, and well, you can still see Joshua Kimmich just barking out orders, which sums up the kind of character that he is. But yeah, there was a little bit of a chance for Salzburg moments ago. I'm a big fan of Aronson. I mentioned him before the game. Attacking midfielder, he's American. He again really tidy on the ball, really tidy. I was surprised if other clubs were keeping tabs on him. Slides in Kjærgaard again. Looking for a brace, but couldn't quite latch onto it. But no, a bit complacent from the home side, 5-1.
Okay. Inter pushing for that second goal at Anfield. Do you have any luck, Adam? Cameron?
No luck so far, but the triple substitution is now going to be made. The ball's gone out a few times, but I don't know why, they just don't want to make it, basically. 15 minutes till the end of the match, and all 3 of them are now coming on, so we'll see what they can do. It's no longer Goussans that's coming on. I'm not too sure who that is straight off the bat. But yeah, 3 of them are coming on, so 3 fresh legs. Brozovic seems to be coming off. He seems a bit injured, to be honest. Liverpool controlling the game now, but there's nothing stopping a counter from Inter Milan.
Okay, thank you for that update. And now we have an update for Adam, our correspondent at Salisbury. What's going on there?
Yeah, I can break down what happened in that shambles a minute ago. It was a handball from the Tiverton defence, not given by the ref though. It looked blatant to me, but not given, and that would have given at least a consolation goal to Salisbury. 7 minutes have just been added on, as arguably the best player on the pitch has gone off tonight, Theo Simpson, goal scorer of the first. And yeah, it seems to be game over here. It's just the sting's been taken out of the game and it's rounded up now.
Okay, so game over at Salisbury, but the action is still going on at Exeter. Do we have an update for us there, Saj?
Yes, you've just come back. You come to me at the perfect time. It's a consolation goal, but Jack Payne has hit an absolute beauty into the top left corner. 30 yards out, 2 goals in 2 games. Absolute rocket into the top corner, top left corner. It's 3-1, but 3 seems to be the number for Exeter today. 3 goals, 3 points, and up into 3rd position. There's even been 3 minutes of stoppage time. So Exeter will be disappointed to have conceded just then, but it's a brilliant goal. The goalkeeper had no chance. flew into the top corner as there looks to be moments left, but it will be Exeter that take all 3 points and jump into third position. Just 3 points behind the second place Northampton with 2 games in hand over their opponents, all of which are in the top 6. So a very, very good day for the Exeter fans behind the goal here. In the big bank, they're bouncing up and down, singing the City are going up. And who would question them at this time? They look like they're flying in form. They've only lost once in the last 11 games after today. So it looks as if the City are going up indeed.
Obviously, it's a good day there for Exeter. How far do you think they can go once they do get promoted?
I think they have got a really good sort of, I reckon they could comfortably sit in mid-table in League One, but I saw them play against Cambridge Town in the FA Cup second round. They lost 2-1, and that was when their influential striker Sam Nombe got injured. He pulled his hamstring. Final whistle just on here. But yeah, it looks as if they could really, really do well in League One. They've got such an energetic side, and yeah, who knows what holds them in the future.
Okay, so big things it looks like are in the future for Exeter. We're now going to take a trip over to Coventry for an update from our correspondent Liam. Do you have an update for us there?
Yeah, it's a really, really disappointing and frustrating loss for Coventry. You can hear the fans booing. Luton fans in the corner are loving it. They sat back all game, all 45. And they really just absorbed the pressure because Coventry weren't offering any threat. I mean, in the last minute of extra time, we just saw the left back Ian Martin jump down the left, the diving header, he put it just wide, and that was really the only chance Coventry have. I mean, Luton, they found it really easy. Coventry had loads of possession, but nothing else to offer.
Okay, thank you for that update, Liam. You've had another goal at the Allianz Arena. Which way has it gone?
When they're in form, it is just absolutely liquid. Sane in that trademark position, wide left, gets slid in behind, cut back to Thomas Muller, and it's a similar finish to the first half. It's just a brilliant move, and it's topped off with a brilliant finish. Thomas Muller, same again, swing of a left boot, finds the bottom corner, and it's 6-1 on the night, 7-2 on aggregate.
The assist king is at it again. Thomas Muller, another assist there.
And we have another goal here.
Oh, another goal. Who?
Actually gotten a consolation goal. It was Chris Long.
Defender tries to clear the ball, completely misses it, drops to his feet, drives into the box, shoots. Keeper does get a hand to it, but it's as if it slips in behind, underneath him, and it goes in. So 3-1 to Portsmouth.
3-1 to Portsmouth there nearly the end of the game. The final whistles are starting to ring around most of the grounds here in the country, and we're now going to take a trip over to Fareham and get an update for the final whistle there.
Right, full time here. It ends in a shocking victory for the 10-man handball club. Hero of the game, the substitute, Kelvin Robinson, as he scored the winning goal. And the home team will definitely be disappointed as they were on top for most of the game. But in the end, they failed to defeat 10 men and will be walking away very disappointed.
Okay, so a disappointing loss there. Thank you for that update, Adam. We're going to be taking a trip over to Anfield now. Any update for us there?
Yeah, well, I mean, at the moment, Inter Milan players are furious because Henderson's put a bit of a weird challenge in. It's very high, to say the least. He kind of got the ball, but they're not happy because it was just so unorthodox. But a little bit earlier, we'd say about 2 minutes ago, Mane's picked up the ball, he's crossed it in to Mo Salah, and I'll be honest, he hasn't got his shooting boots on tonight. He's hit the right-hand post in the first half and he's hit the left in the second, so he wanted to make sure they both had a bit of Mo Salah on them. He just couldn't finish it simply. On his right foot, the weaker foot, just dragged it yet again. Basically the exact same finish in the first half.
Okay, thank you for that.
And oh my God.
Another goal at the Allianz Arena.
Leroy Sane struts, just no need to celebrate. It's such a good move. Thomas Muller, Lewandowski, Leroy Sane. 7-1 on the night. I did not expect this considering the first leg. It's come from a shambles of a playing out from the back from Salzburg. So complacent. And yeah, well, when the ball's on Leroy Sané's left foot, there's only one outcome, isn't there? 7-1, 8-2 on aggregate.
Beginning to lose count there at the Allianz Arena. Final whistle at Tottenham. Can we have an update there? What's happened?
The final whistle has indeed blown here at Tottenham, and the home side have been beaten by Eastleigh. The early goal from the visitors was enough to seal their place in the final of the men's senior FA Hampshire Cup trophy, which, you know, they'll find out their opponents tomorrow night as that big game goes ahead. But the home side battled second half, got off to a good start. But to be honest, Eastleigh, the deserved winners, forced some good saves from their keeper, hit the post as well, wrapped things up here on what was a feisty, fiery encounter in this semi-final at AFC Tottenham.
Eastleigh have got a chance to go. GC have booked their place in the final. What do you think their chances are of actually going on and winning the whole thing? Okay, we've lost our correspondent there. We're going to take a trip over to the Liberty Stadium. George, do you have a full-time whistle update for us there?
Yeah, the referee's blown his full-time whistle. It's a 5-1 win for Fulham, which sees them extend their lead at the top of the championship table to 14 points. It started off as a good night for Swansea. They had the better start, to be honest, in the first half an hour, but no sooner than they'd been sent off, it just changed to all Fulham. That second half, Mitrovic's goal after, 30 seconds, completely changed the tide of this game. Ben Cabango's own goal only really added to Fulham's chances. Neco Williams was probably the star of the night, getting his first 2 senior club goals. That 5th one, I encourage everybody to go and check that out on Twitter when you can. It was an absolute stunner.
So Fulham have taken another step in a race for the title. Do you think there's anyone that can stop them right now, George?
No, to be honest, from that performance tonight, they look absolutely unstoppable. They're on an inevitable quest to return back to the Premier League, and no, I don't think anybody can stop them. I think the teams are just going to be fighting out for that second place position and trying to go up through the playoffs. I think that top spot is nailed on for Fulham.
Mitrovic has been in the Premier League before, but he didn't go in this kind of form. He's broken already the record that Ivan Toney set last season. What do you think he's going to be able to do in the Premier League?
Well, I think the form he's in at the minute, I can't see anybody stopping him scoring. He seems to be able to do it for Serbia when he gets his chance there. Something about the Premier League, he doesn't really seem to fit in too well. But I think if this Fulham team go up and they play like they do now, they look like they'll be a strong side in the Premier League. Normally when he gets into the Premier League, his chances are reduced, but I mean Fulham at the minute under Marco Silva, the amount of chances they create, he's going to get some shots in the box, and you'd think he's going to find the back of the net, because at the minute he seems to do that every time he gets a shot on goal. Okay, so futures is looking bright for Mitrovic and Fulham, but we've got the full-time whistle at Salisbury. Can we have the news from there, Adam, please?
Yeah, it's full-time here, and it's been a slaughtering. 3-0 to the away side, Tiverton. See them take 3 points in the Southern Premier League to actually jump Salisbury here in this 6-pointer. Towards the end, Antonio Diaz did have a free kick. Great ball in. The centre-back just headed it wide, and it was a good bit of play, but almost, which has summarised Salisbury's day, really. They've played well, but the final pass and stuff just hasn't worked out. And, yeah, Tiverton has ended up battering them 3-0.
Full-time whistle at the Vitality Stadium, Joe?
Yeah, it's finished 1-1. Really interesting decisions there during the end of the game. Nothing much happened, so he didn't come to me. But in the 87th minute, he subbed off, Scott Parker subbed off Sariki Dembele and Philip Billing. Philip Billing, fair enough, but Dembele, I think, he pulled the strings. He made things happen for the Bournemouth team. And if I was Scott Parker, I'd be absolutely livid at how my team played that last 80 minutes. It just wasn't good. And the way they played, last 10 minutes, sorry. The way they played was just embarrassing, really. They didn't try, and they just, again, lacked the final finish. Peterborough looked more likely to take the win, to be honest. But Peterborough will be happy with that. Bournemouth will be fuming.
Okay, so disappointing result there for Bournemouth. Final whistle at Crewe. Can we have the result there?
Yep, final whistle, 3-1 to Portsmouth. Very comfortable win. Crewe did manage to get a consolation goal, courtesy of defender mistiming his header, but you could really tell from the first half, after they scored their second goal, that Portsmouth were going to win the game. They still are 10th because Ipswich did beat Lincoln City, but Portsmouth still do have 2 games in hand against Ipswich, so they'll be looking to use that to their advantage and progress through the table.
So a good result for Portsmouth, but Crewe Alexandra now are staying stuck to the bottom of the table. Do you think they had the right attitude coming into this game?
I just don't think they were with it. Portsmouth were the better team. Again, they didn't look threatening on the attack. Now they're 4 losses in a row. So they really need to do something to turn this around. They're 4 points behind the next team. Doncaster, so it's looking quite bad for Crewe.
Okay, thank you for that. Back to the Allianz Arena, 7-1 to Bayern Munich. They're seeing out the game now, I'm sure.
And it is literally, the full-time whistle has literally just been blew. The referee, the free kick just outside the area, Joshua Kimmich has took it. It's deflected out for a corner, but I think the referee's just sacked off extra time, to be honest. 7-1 on the night, 8-2 on aggregate, so convincing from Bayern. But fair play to the Salzburg fans because they're still going rowdy up in the gods and the Allianz. So, yeah, convincing result for Bayern.
So a long trip home for Salzburg, but Bayern Munich will be progressing on to the next round. Do you think there's anyone who thinks they have a chance against Bayern Munich?
I mean, to be honest, Abs, they didn't really get out of second gear tonight and they've won 7-1. So I think other sides should really be frightened. The strength in depth, the quality, the system that they implement, it's just brilliant. It's quite refreshing to see, actually, having two such... Well, they're out and out wingers, aren't they, Gnabry and Coman, both starting at wing-back roles. So, yeah, it was refreshing to see. And, yeah, just easy on the night for Bayern.
Okay, looking forward to next week's Champions League fixtures. We've got the second leg of Manchester United versus Atletico Madrid. How do you see that one panning out?
I mean, like Jordi said earlier, Atletico Madrid, you know, they come off a decent result at the weekend against Real Betis, 3-1 win. It'll be tough, Abs. It'll be tough. I'm going draw.
Okay. So coming over to you now at Anfield, do we have an update for Inter Milan? Are they pushing for that second goal still?
I think pushing, you're really pushing it when you say pushing, because it's all Liverpool. They've got Inter Milan camped into their box basically. I think the substitutions they've made are really, I don't know if they're poor or if they're questionable, but I mean, leaving people like Dzeko on the bench. No, Lautaro Martinez was taken off. Hakan Çalhanoğlu was taken off. Like, a lot of their creative and attacking players have been taken off. And it seems, I mean, I can't imagine this is the case, but it just seems like they're content to lose to lose the leg, basically. There hasn't really been any chances, although there is a great chance now if they can get it into the box, but Skriniar still defends it. Yeah, it's so odd from Inter Milan. You would have thought that would have put their attacking and creative players on, and all right, if you make it 1-0, okay, fair play, but at least we gave it a good shot. But no, they seem rather content with what's happening, to be honest.
So it looks like Inter Milan are on their way out of the competition and Liverpool will be progressing. A likely matchup from the semi-finals onwards could be Liverpool-Bayern Munich. Who do you think could come out on top in that matchup, both of you?
Wow. Tell you what, some question that was tight, very tight. But looking at Bayern tonight, 7-1 on the night against a side that, you know, kept them at bay in the first leg. I mean, they're ruthless when they want to be, and when they get their main men on the ball, there's no stopping them. Such cute football between the lines. Sorry, the Liverpool game's just flicked over to my screen here, and it's a good chance of Van Dijk. But no, as you said, you know what? I'd fancy Bayern at the moment, especially after tonight's performance.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't ever doubt Bayern, but at the same time, Liverpool, Anfield on a Champions League night, we all know what a fortress it is for whatever team comes there. I mean, not many people do beat Liverpool at Anfield, and obviously I'd say with their front three previously, but with their front, you could say five now basically, with the options that they've got. Whoever they stick on the pitch, they've got really good options and they'll really test that Bayern Munich defence. I think it would be a question mark on who's fit in midfield. That's maybe where Liverpool have a little bit of their downfall, but if you have the likes of Thiago, Fabinho, Henderson all fit, then I mean, I don't see why they can't go toe-to-toe with Bayern Munich.
Yeah, both teams do like to play a high line, so if either can get the ball in behind, we could have a lot of goals. Over onto the other side of the bracket, PSG and Real Madrid. That's going to be another heavyweight clash there. Who do you see coming out on top then?
So tough to call, isn't it? But I'm edging towards PSG. Saw them last round. And just, again, similar to Bayern, so much quality on the ball. Their midfield's slept on quite a lot. Paredes, Verratti.
Yeah.
So tidy, so neat, can play in between the lines really well and can play them diags to the likes of Neymar and Mbappe. And obviously arguably the best player in the world, Leo Messi. So, yeah, but then, like Jordi said as well, our guest, Real Madrid, they're so well set up, so organised. So, it'll be a tight affair, but I'm edging towards PSG. What about yourself, Abs?
I don't think you can look past Real Madrid right now. The form that Benzema's in, Vinicius Junior's having a breakout season right now. He's gotten a lot of goals and assists. I think they might just have a little bit too much firepower for that PSG defence. So the Liverpool game is still going on right now, but we're going to have a look at the rest of the scores coming from the rest of the night. As we heard from at the Allianz Arena, Bayern Munich 7, Salzburg 1. Liverpool 0, Inter Milan 1. Bournemouth 1, Peterborough 1. Exeter 3, Swindon 0. Swansea 1, Fulham 5. Tiverton Town 3, Salisbury 0. Eastleigh 1, Tiverton 0. Luton 1, Coventry 0. Portsmouth 3, Crewe Alexandria 1. And it sounds like we've had something going on at Anfield. What's happened there?
Alexander-Arnold's just busted gut down the right wing. He's pulled it back to Luis Diaz, who obviously is still yet to get his first goal for Liverpool in the Champions League. And it's a great block from Vidal. It looks basically certain to go in from, you'd say, probably 8 yards out. He side-footed it to the right-hand side of the keeper, and Vidal's just come in, last-ditch challenge, and just deflected it up over the bar. We've only got about 2 minutes to go here, but what a great chance for Luis Diaz.
Block.
Yeah, what a block, though. What a block.
So it looks like Liverpool are about to see that game out now, hopefully, and move on to the next round. Joe, can you just give us our thoughts for what you saw from that Bournemouth-Peterborough game?
Well, we've got Bournemouth having most of the ball in the first half and the majority of the second half. They had 65% possession. Peterborough, they're really trying to counter. If maybe in the first half, they were better with their passing, we might have seen a Peterborough win here. But they were really getting the ball, booting it away, route one stuff, just smashing it up the pitch, lots of diagonal balls across. I feel like Sami Szmodic's made a difference when he came on. Great player, very impressed with him. He beat a few players as well, nice interplay between him and Christie. Bournemouth, disappointing second half. Solanke, he tried, but he didn't get the delivery he needed, and he hadn't got the final touch. Billing as well, not impressive. I really liked Zamora and Dembele on the left, really liked their link up. They seem to be pulling the strings. Campbell had, again, a quiet second half, but he was pulling the strings in the first half. I think it's deserved. Bournemouth have had 22 shots compared to Peterborough's 6, but they only had 2 on target. So, you know, I think it's a deserved draw in the end.
Okay, final thoughts from you, Byron, on that Portsmouth game?
Yeah, again, comfortable win for Portsmouth. I think they're going to be looking ahead because their next game is, in fact, against Ipswich, who are, you know,
right close to them in the table,
ahead of them. So, with games in hand, so really, again, if Portsmouth do win, they'll go to 9th. Crewe, again, very hard game. They're playing Sunderland away. Sunderland are currently 5th in the table, so again, it's not looking really good for Crewe, but Portsmouth definitely looking at that Ipswich game to progress in the table and use those games in hand they've still got against teams that are above them.
Joe, coming back to you quickly, Fulham look like they're running away with the Championship title now. They've just beaten Swansea in convincing manner at the Liberty Stadium. What do you think the ceiling is for this Fulham team?
I think it's first. They've scored so many as well, haven't they? It's ridiculous. I think they're going to win the league, no question. I still fancy Bournemouth to come second. They've still got 3 games in hand on Huddersfield. Again, 2 poor games though from Bournemouth recently. We'll see. I still fancy them to come second, and I also still fancy Peterborough to finish dead last.
Okay, yeah. And also for Bournemouth, the game was covering today. What do you think their chances are of getting promoted?
I still think they're safe. I still think they're going to get promoted. They're 3rd currently, but games in hand. The way they played previously in the season, I don't see why they couldn't. I'd be surprised if they didn't get promoted.
Okay, coming back to you, Ben. Do you think Bayern Munich have a chance of winning the whole thing this year?
Definitely. You know, they've had a convincing run so far. They've progressed out of 5 out of 7 Champions League knockout ties when drawn away from home in the first leg. And you've seen it again today. You know, so emphatic in front of goal. But yeah, you know, like you said, they're favourites, one of the favourites. But there's so much quality left in the competition. It's hard to call. But I fancy their chances if they got to the final. Put it that way.
Yeah. Okay. Do we have a final score update there at Anfield?
Full time Anfield, 1-0 Inter Milan on the night. Obviously 2-1 to Liverpool on aggregate, and they're through to the next round. I'd say that the tie kind of changed as soon as Alexis Sanchez got sent off. It was if you're Alexis Sanchez, it was harsh. It was, I mean, he got the ball and it was just a fluke kind of follow through. There was no real intent to hurt the player at all, but maybe that's why it wasn't a red card instead of a yellow. But it was a petty kind of challenge that he picked up in the first half, so he paid the consequences in the end. I'm sure Klopp won't be too impressed with the overall performance tonight, but the most important thing is that obviously that he got his team through to the next round and sets up a nice tie, yeah.
Okay, thank you for that, Cameron. So now, after all of that, we're going to have a final look at all of the final scores from the games today. So, lads, what do we think about all of these results today?
I mean, Champions League, it's been brilliant. I can't reiterate it enough. It's an emphatic win for Bayern, but like you said, Cam, you probably would have expected a bit more from Liverpool tonight.
Yeah.
Although Inter Milan were knocking on the door, made it hard for themselves, didn't they? By the sounds of it. So, yeah, just their luck a little bit. But no, some decent results in the Championship as well. Fulham, like flying. What did George say? 14 points clear or something now. So, yeah, they're light years apart from the majority of the teams in the Championship.
Eastleigh, they just booked their place in the final of the competition. What do you think about that result and their chances of going on to win the whole thing?
It's good. They've had some difficulties with their management, obviously, over recent times. So it's a great result for their new manager. And you know, it's you know, I suppose it's good for the university as well because we've got some decent links with them. So yeah, buzzing for them, and hopefully they can go all the way.
Absolute cracker that we had at Exeter 3-0. Big game at the top of League Two. Big game at the top of League Two can have a lot of ramifications for the title coming at the end of the season. What do you think Exeter's chances are of going on and getting that?
Yeah, good chances. Like I say, Matt Jay, their attacking midfielder, he's their talisman really, and he's got himself another goal tonight. Saj mentioned that it was his 12th goal. Yeah. I think with him at the forefront of attacks, I think they'll have a really good chance. But likewise with Swindon, I think when Harry McCurdy's returned from suspension, I think they've got such a good force to be reckoned with up front with the likes of Johnny Williams. They've got players in their side that aren't League 2 quality. They could easily play in League 1 or lower end of the Championship. So, yeah, really good result for Exeter tonight actually, and it'll do them some good having a bit better goal difference compared to the other promotion contenders.
Tough result for Coventry to take today. A loss to Luton at home. What do you think happened there?
I don't know. They've been all right, Coventry, haven't they? Especially at the start of the season, they were flying. Goals were flying in, but do you know what? I think they've been found out a little bit, Coventry. I think the amount of goals they've scored after the 90th minute to clutch them points. I think I saw a stat the other day that if it wasn't for the 90th minute, they'd be 19th in the league. Instead, they're knocking on the playoff places purely because of goals in extra time. So, yeah, a bit of a shock result for them, but it's been long coming.
Okay, so a very successful day today in the football leagues and the Champions League. We've had a lot of big results, a lot of shocks, we'll be here back again tomorrow to do it all again. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.